Welcome back, guys. My guest this week, I've known this man since 2015. We've been friends. We met in a really, really interesting way. I'll go over here in a second. He is the creator of the Black Tape Project and Paradise Challenge. This is Drakhan Blackhart, formerly known as Joel Alvarez. How you doing today, Joel?
Pretty good, bro. How are you?
Good, man. Good. So I actually want to go after how you and I met. I ended up, do you remember Caitlin O'Connor was supposed to host the Maxim party in 2015.
Legends or Legacy or something models?
No, do you remember we were... No,
Caitlin O'Connor from...
Caitlin O'Connor.
Karma.
Yeah, get up closer. So she was supposed to host the Maxim party 2015. You were coming, and she didn't show up, so I ended up hosting it. And that was the first time we ever met. I knew who you were, but that was the first time.
You introduced me, or you interviewed me at the door.
Yeah, I interviewed you on the carpet. Yeah. And so Sam Remo was there, Steve Fowler was there, you were there, and then we met. And then it wasn't until...
It was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 9 months later. I remember I was going through some like a really rough time with my business partner, who you know who he is, and you hit me up. I was eating at Peppermill in the middle of the night, and you were like, "Hey man, we want you to host our Paradise Challenge." Yeah. And I vaguely knew what it was. I was like, "Hell yeah, man, I'll come and do it." And I've done it every year since then. Yeah, yeah. But that's how we met. So I thought it was really interesting. But the thing is, I've seen that whole thing grow so much. That was a long time ago, man. Mm-hmm. So can we go over this, man? So we also have our 2 guest hosts today. This is Olivia Knepek. Is that how you say it? Knepek, you from Poland?
Yes, I'm from Poland.
Okay, cool. If you want to do your answers in Polish, you're totally fine to do that. Or if you want to do that. And we also have Kylie McGay. Hey, how you doing, honey?
Good.
Doing good. So if you want to do your answers in Arkansas, you can also do that as well.
That's great.
You're welcome to answer your questions in that way.
Corn-fed country.
Cool. So neither of you have been to Paradise Challenge, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be interesting. If you guys have any questions about what we're going to have, we're going on.
She hears about it every fucking day.
Every day, right? So does this one.
Me too.
So I'll tell you something funny. When I was telling her, she was terrified about us going to Jamaica. She was like,
Scared to death.
"Oh my God! All I've heard is that we're just going to go there and everyone's just fucking everywhere all the time. It's just sex all the time."
It's a huge porno.
It's just a huge porno. And then she goes, "Well, we're going to Puerto Vallarta." She's like, "Darn it, we're not going to Jamaica anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck, man! I wanted to go to Jamaica."
Boring.
So the resort is nude friendly, and they have the normal guests, but when we go, the demographic changes completely because we outnumber them. So we do a full takeover, and none of us are in the lifestyles. We just love the fact that it's a private place to shoot, and the freedom is there. You can't just start shooting in a thong at some places, they just go crazy. But it's not what people think at all.
Well, let's talk about this. So Paradise Challenge, which actually was a derivative of Black Tape.
Yeah.
That whole thing was a group of destination photo shoots. I explained to people that it's the biggest destination photo shoot thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
A lot of girls I've seen have gone from 0 to 1 million, several million followers on IG because of it. It's funny because I've had some people hit me up and they're like, "Hey, I'm not really sure because it's going to be an OnlyFans retreat." I'm like, they're all OnlyFans retreat. If I take a photo or a video of you, that's an OnlyFans retreat. It's just marketing.
Yeah.
And so can you describe it?
Sometimes I just say it's an ultimate content retreat or destination content development. So I'm just wording it in different ways to see which one people will bite. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's the same exact program. 40, 60 photographers, 100, 150 models. And then we started opening to the general public so they could come and we could fill up the resort because you can't really have 1,000 models, bro. Yeah. It's just impossible to have that much space to shoot. But originally it was called Black Tape Project in Paradise. And then I couldn't
There was only like 12 of y'all.
Yeah.
Like CJ Sparks, fucking Chloe Teray.
Yeah, we all started it together. And then I had met Chloe and then she kind of like teamed up with me. And then IBMS got real mad and hated my guts because I took their star player. And then IBMS just kind of like ruined themselves and I dominated. But he hit me up one day and was like, "Oh, why don't you come work for me?" And I'm like...
You're talking about Patrick who runs IBMS.
Yeah, and I would never work for anyone else. So he came at me with this offer and I was like, "I'm not interested." So he started planning his trips on the same dates that I plan my trip. And we only have 1 trip a year. So then I said, "All right, I'm going to do a trip every fucking 2 months so that when he's planning, I'm already promoting the last trip plus the content from the previous trip and we're just pushing forward." And then we opened the challenges. And then I noticed I couldn't get sponsors because the Black Tape Project at the time was way too provocative and it was too controversial. People didn't understand it yet. I hadn't gone viral. I hadn't gone to New York Fashion Week. I hadn't done anything interesting or reputable yet. So I killed the Black Tape and I called it Paradise Challenge. I did 6 destinations a year. And then the main open, which was usually in Jamaica, would become a program where we would select 1 winner per destination. And then 1 winner would win all the destinations that she was called the Queen of Paradise. So we would give out these diamonds that represented a country. I'm a geek. Like I love comic books, Yu-Gi-Oh, anime, all the shit, right? So I started using a lot of the components of the things that I was into. Got to collect them all like Pokemon. So you got to get all the diamonds. And then we had all the games. And it just became something where it's like some models knew they could win the obstacle course, but they had no chance in the scavenger hunt.
Sure.
Or other girls that knew they could win the bikini contest as long as they didn't have to go speak at the talent show.
Yeah.
So we started giving everyone a different type of opportunity, and it started doing really well.
So a couple things, you know, for because you guys haven't done it yet. So you do 6 a year. So Ibiza is usually one. Sometimes you've done South Africa twice. The different places like that. But Jamaica is always the third, or it was until this year. It was always the third week in September, and we would go there. And the schedule was always the same every year. You do the black tape taping on Wednesday.
I stopped doing that shit 2 years ago because I'm stuck in the dressing room for 12 hours taping 40 girls.
So he's got to take 40 girls. So it takes all day. The girls have to show up at noon, and you'll see girls like in there the entire day. Like it's best to be the last girl.
Models are pissed off because they're like, "Oh, where are the models?" I'm like, "I got them stuck in the dressing room."
And so every night is themed. So we have jungle night, you know, different stuff like that.
Hip hop night, you know, the glow in the dark night. It's just different things for people to engage and participate.
And then the actual challenge was a scavenger hunt, like you said before, an obstacle course, and then there's a bikini competition that morning, and then there was you said like a talent show, then the girl who wins the whole thing. And the scavenger hunt, you have to literally find this diamond that it's like hidden somewhere on the resort, and there's clues that are around there. And so the diamond, the green one, will be for Jamaica. You had a different one for Ibiza. You had a different for each. The Philippines
so
was
every
one.
country had a different color. And then the diamond, they were just fucking giant paperweights.
And the whole time I'm on the microphone just making fun of it. Like I'm on the microphone like emceeing the whole thing.
This is Sarita Natividad. She milks goats on the weekend.
Yeah, it was like from Gulf Shores, Alabama, Sarita Natividad. Yeah, it was like that. So that's essentially what we do. And it was a lot of fun, man. And we did it for 10 years. This year it's going to be in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
My only question is like, are they going to let you do any nude content or apply content?
Yeah, I asked them and I said, listen, so when Paradise Challenge started, it was something where we really needed a lot of photographers so that I could sponsor as many models.
Yeah.
Once OnlyFans came, it changed the game where models are no longer broke. They're able to make money. They don't need the support of other photographers.
You remember when we had this conversation? It was a couple years ago. I was like, bro, the ones that are going to be able to afford it are OF models. So, I mean, you know.
So I started catering to them in the sense of like, we're not necessarily pushing nudity, but if they want to do something nude, they're in a safe environment. At this new resort, the resort is saying, listen, we're going to have designated areas for this type of content and designated times, because it is a public beach. But I had asked if the girls wanted to get naked on the beach, is it allowed? He goes, yeah. So it depends on how brave you are. You'll be naked on the beach, but there'll be a guy selling chicharrones right next to you, and then you're like, you know, is it a look? You know, like. So we try to keep everything in the hacienda, which is a little adult side resort. There are no children, and since we usually dominate the resort, we almost do a full takeover. We never intend to do a takeover, but we sell so many, and people just show up. I think about 50% of reservations show up after we arrive. Yeah, and that's like, crazy, man. When people like show up like right before and they're like, "Hey, I need a reservation to come to this." Last year we turned them away. I'm like, we just can't. Like, I don't know why you guys aren't. And we're charging $900 more at the door, and people still pull the trigger. The other thing is, there's a lot of girls. One of the things, it's almost like a free marketplace where a lot of girls who would have never got to shot with a huge photographer get to shoot with a huge photographer, right? And so, for example, Joey Wright charges $1,000, $2,000 for you to be able to get the time of day with him. But now that for that same price, you get to shoot with Joey, Orangutan, Brandon Forbes, Joakim Carlson, Black Tape Project, and you'll get 6 months worth of content in 5 days. It's really interesting to see their reactions, because a lot of times they'll go there and there'll be a girl with 2 million followers who doesn't look exactly like her photos, and then there'll be some girl who's like, you know, 2022, brand new, and nowhere at seen her, and she has no followers, and her photos are terrible. And then she walks up to Mike Tang. She's one of them. When she arrives, everyone's like, "Where the fuck did you come from?" I was like, Poland. All of a sudden, it's like Joey Wright or Mike Tang is like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like, I've never seen this girl before. I not that I want to like brag about this, but I probably have the strongest funnel of models on the planet by far. Times 10. You could put Maxim, FHM, Orangutan, Joey Wright. From top to bottom, I absolutely think you do. Because as far as discovering them, dude, my bikini competitions are full of girls that I met from Paradise Challenge. Absolutely. And so is Babes in Toyland. And I would say 85% of my circle and friends are people that I've met at Paradise Challenge. Yeah. Because you're dealing with like-minded individuals that you would never get the opportunity to hang out with them unless you told them, come to this one place for 1 week. one thing is for me to hang out with you for an hour at the club, but now we're spending a week together. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. I see you happy, I see you sad, I see you win, I see you lose, I see you do all these things. By the end of the week, either we hate each other or we love each other. You get me?
Yeah.
I've seen couples, I've seen relationships, I've seen marriages, I've seen best friends, I've seen people come out the closet.
I've heard a lot of relationships fail in Jamaica.
Not really, not that bad.
I hear a lot of stories.
I ain't got nothing to do with that part. But
Okay, listen. It is a lot of people get into relationships, but there is usually one fight. There's that couple. And I tell people when they go there,
imagine me and my staff.
don't be that couple every time I come.
Me and my staff have a meeting like on Wednesday. It was like, all right, so does anybody predict who's going to be the couple?
It's always one. It's always one couple, and I can name them every year we go. There's one couple that has some huge. Now, one time
You'll
it was
see
two
them at the
girls.
beginning. I'm like.
One time it was two females in a couple. Do you remember this?
Yes.
But I had to go in the room and break them apart.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was a great time.
They came as best friends.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, you fucking robbed me. I'm like, you guys came together. Like you're sharing the same wallet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's called the challenge for a reason. Bro.
Yeah, for sure.
This isn't Princesses in Paradise.
Yeah, it's so great, man. And then that night we did like the jungle party. That was awesome, man.
Yeah. So the difference between Jamaica was the giant networking event. That's the event where everyone comes to network and to be able to meet, create content, and then I create the competition so that I can have a purpose or an ambassador for the following trip. I'm not gonna just go and hold Ibiza for the winner. So I bring her as the winner who won Ibiza. Then I bring the Queen of Paradise who won all the trips. So those are the two ambassadors. Those are already attracting photographers that want to work with them, plus the destination. Now, Jamaica is in a destination where it's like at a resort that accommodates everything. Food, meals, drinks, they take care of everything. But when we do Ibiza is more like either at a private mansion. So it's a very limited group and we treat it more like a family style. 9 a.m., we're in the car driving to a location. We don't spend any time at the house. You shower and sleep at the house.
About in Ibiza.
Yeah, in Ibiza.
Ibiza is hard work. The Ibiza one, you are going to be traveling the whole time. You have to go down that cliff.
Yeah, so we call it Paradise Challenge because there's a 750 meter mountain that we have to climb down to, and your hair and makeup can't get fucked up. So then you got to shoot for the next 6 hours.
That sounds like a challenge. Yeah.
Once we're done, now we got to climb back up. You thought you were done? No, now the hard part is going back up to the car.
It's like 90 minutes to climb up and down that thing. Man, it's crazy.
Ibiza is the hardest one. That's why we call it the Extreme Challenge. And then you have Bali, which is more like the Yogi Bohemian Challenge. Then we have Cons, which is like the bougie challenge with the red carpets and yachts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So every destination has its flavor. And we really try our best to enhance that flavor.
Yeah.
Jamaica is Jamaica, no problem, everything Irish. So we make it super comfortable for people to come and go as they please. Puerto Vallarta will now be the new Jamaica. I can't get into too much details why we can't do Jamaica anymore because we're dealing with some stuff.
Sure.
But for Puerto Vallarta, I could easily say the resort's much more beautiful. We have a lot of off-property experiences and excursions that are a lot more available. Jamaica's a little bit sketchy when it comes to like organizing things off-property.
Yeah.
In Puerto Vallarta, I have connections and relationships all the way up to the Jalisco cartel if I needed their help.
The dune buggies, man.
What
that was
a trip.
awesome. Man, you go full speed and you were just hitting these bumps and like waters all over you.
I didn't go. So I see him in the car with Olivia. But and then I see that girls are driving in the dust on drawbridges, and I'm like, full speed. I'm looking at Michael. How could you let this happen? And then it was like everyone was just. It was the craziest.
200-foot drop on either side, just going down straight down this wooden bridge.
Some girls just strip down, jump off a cliff, get their clothes back on, start driving again. Girls twerking here, ziplining there. Oh, let's stop to have lunch. Everyone eats and then back at it.
I'm filming an ad for MOA with Corey. He's filming me, and girls are just jumping off nude in the cliff behind me, and I'm like, we can't use this. Like we have to, like we can't use any of this footage.
So I guess not the nature, but I guess the curse of my life. It's hard for me to be around girls with clothing on. So it's like I don't ask them to take their clothes off, but we'll go to an event and there's a girl jumping off a cliff fucking naked, and I'm like, God damn it.
So are you ready to lose like the rest of your innocence when we go to this? It's like it's all about to be stripped away from us, like gone. Just no more innocence left.
I don't have a problem to make nude photos. I like that, and you can do it as well in an elegant way. And for me, for sure, that's elegant, a little bit sporty and elegant way.
Yeah, because she has the Playboy vibes, like old school Playboy vibes.
When are we doing a Paradise Challenge Krakow? When are we doing that?
Krakow?
Yeah.
You know that I'm from Krakow.
Yeah, I think you said that before.
I've never heard her say that.
It's either Warsaw or Krakow. No, you said it.
I didn't hear that either. What's going on?
Yeah.
When she did the bikini, so you're a finalist in the bikini competition, and that was what you filled out was Krakow.
Yes,
right?
I'm from Krakow. We can only do it, but in the summertime, so it's like in July, August. That's it. the rest of the year it's cold.
Okay. And she's from a city that's very similar to Krakow called Frog Level, Arkansas.
Yeah, it's super similar.
It's very similar. It's an archipelago covered in ice, just like Krakow, Poland.
My best friend was a pig. I mean, we made it.
Hilarious. Hilarious. All right, so I did not know you were married at one point. I did not know you were married at 19.
When did you find out?
I did some research, brother. I watched a bunch of videos.
Interview.
Yeah, it was a crazy Cuban type of thing. I was in martial arts, and I had and it's funny because I had hurt my kneecaps at a breakdancing competition. So I go to the martial arts competition, and I was the top fighter in my division, and in my county. But there was another county where the top fighter of that county had showed up, and it was very rare for us to be in the same tournament. So when I see him, I'm like, Sensei, you gotta let me go. He goes, bro, you're injured. You can't. You're gonna lose. I'm like, I don't care. Let me go. He's like, bro, you can't. So I got upset, and I look up into the audience, and I see like there's a hole in the sky. There's a window in the auditorium, and it's shining light on this blonde. And I'm like, who the fuck's that? So I sit up next to her, and I started acting a fool to see if I could get her attention. She ignored me completely. And she was friends with one of the girls that was in my class, in my martial arts class. So I was like, hey, Marilyn, what's up with this girl? And she goes, oh, her name is Teresa, this and this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't know, put in a good word. So whatever, I end up meeting her. And when I got into her life, her stepfather was like, you can only come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can sit on the couch. You can have a pillow between her, no hugging, no kissing, no holding hands, no nothing. You can watch TV for 2 hours, and then you go home. And if you go out, you lose one of your visiting days. And when you go out, mama's got to go. So I would go to the movies with mom, sit next to us, watching a fucking movie. And I'm like 18, she was 15. So it's like a 3-year difference.
That's how me and Kylie are.
Yeah.
Our mom comes with us whenever we're going.
And the pig.
Yeah.
And the pig.
And the pig. So once I turned 19, she turned 16. Technically, 16, you're considered an adult in the state of Florida. So I had asked her parents to give me permission to marry her. I'd asked my mom if I could have her move in. We got the marriage license. And I bought her a fucking 25-cent ring at a 25-cent machine, one of those things, just to prove it to the lady. I was like, yeah, we're serious. She was like, yes, go, please. Because she was trying to get no more beef with the step-hunters and with the new husband. So she's like, she just let her go. And then she moved in. About a month later, we got our marriage. And she slept in my twin bed for 8 months. And then my dad was a little bit of an alcoholic. So he got aggressive one day. And I didn't feel safe, or my wife didn't feel safe. So we moved out. And then that was the beginning of that. I never intended to do black tape, bro. I was going to be a fucking grandfather by now. I was going to be working at the bank. I mean, like, my life was going to be your typical...
You still got time?
Nah.
You still got time?
We're done with that.
So here's the thing. There's a moment in there, because you said this in the when you were in Newcastle and you do that interview. You were talking about how the relationship ended. And one of the things that I think is important is that every man kind of goes through that and like learns that whole
100%.
Yeah. And one of the things is, I'll tell you one thing. I've seen it happen at Paradise Challenge. I've seen it happen at different places where there's a reality about men and women that a lot of guys aren't privy to, and then you go to a place that's that hedonistic, and then you just see it right in front of you. The girl you had a crush on is just like talking to some other dude. But in your situation, can you talk about what you went through when you were young? You're married.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that because I'm the black tape guy that I don't get heartbroken or that I have no feelings and stuff like that. After I injured my legs and I changed my persona and I reinvented myself, it's very difficult for me to express myself emotionally or vulnerably.
This is where you tore both patella tendons?
Yeah.
Okay, at this point.
So we'll get to that, but let's just rewind to like when I was with my wife, my ex-wife. This is crazy. I don't talk about this ever. No one knows I was married. No one knows I had an ex-wife. This was 22 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 41. I was 19. Like, so it was something where it's like, I taught her how to walk. I taught her how to model. I taught her how to drive. I made sure she was in school. I would catch her cheating at school. Call me, oh, your daughter's been... She's not my daughter. She's my wife. I'll make sure to discipline her when she comes home.
Hey, baby, what do you remember about 9/11? What do you remember?
Michael, that's not really that funny, is it?
No, it is. Okay, never mind. So she was born 2 months before 9/11. That's why I bring it up.
Wow.
No, I wasn't. I was not even born yet when 9/11 happened. I was in my mom's tummy.
I'm saying you were born 2 months after 9/11. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you said before.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't even here yet.
Yeah. So when that divorce happened, I caught her cheating with one of my boys.
Okay.
And then I knew that the relationship was in trouble, but I also knew that she lost her virginity to me. She had never had a boyfriend before.
Sure.
She had never experienced life. And it went from me working at the bank to me teaching her how to dance, how to manage me as a dancer. And then I taught her how to dance. Then we opened the dance company called Glam Rock, which I'm sure is one of the topics. So Glam Rock was kind of like a go-go style, Vegas style dance company that I would promote around the city of Miami. So I used to be a promoter, and I would get paid $5 for every person to show up at the club, right? But if I got you two to dress up in pink and black and dance, then your friends would want to come and see you. So I would collect $5 off each one of your people's. But and then I pay you your $125 for dancing for 3 sets, 20 minutes. I would be able to triple my numbers just by having you guys. So I got a lot of relationships and network around the city, and that taught me the politics, how to negotiate with nightlife. And I've been in nightlife since I was 17. Like I worked in every major club on the planet. I've seen the biggest, the baddest, the best, the worst. I mean, like there's no club on the planet that can impress me. So doing these businesses put me in the position where once Black Tape took off, I knew how to conduct business because I already had 20 years experience. It wasn't like I'm here trying to impress you with my work. I was like, I knew how to negotiate. So when Glam Rock was one of those things, when my boy calls me, he goes, yo, you got to come to the club. There's a situation. I'm like, but Teresa's there. She can handle it. He goes, no, she needs your help. So Teresa's not answering. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Teresa's your wife?
With my ex, yeah.
Okay.
So when I get to the club, I see my boy Angel grabbing her ass. She's wearing my ring, and they're at the table just enjoying themselves, and she's not working.
So is this the second time that you've noticed it? This is the first time you've noticed something like this? Okay.
So I put my arm around both of them, and I said, what's up? And then he's like, he's got like this, yo, what's up? Like super calm. And she's like, I take off my ring, I put it on the table. That was the last time we kind of like, it was downhill from there.
Okay.
After that, she was very, very pretty. I've always had like really pretty girls. So once we had broken up, another one of my boys ran through it. Another one of my boys ran through it. So by the time it was like 4 or 5, I was like, I can't even try to fix this anymore.
Of course.
You get me? Because one thing was, you did your shit. You scratched the itch, you know, like, all right, you explored a little bit.
There's 3 parts. There's the cheating, right? Then there's the fact that you'd have to, the cheating itself is bad. Then there's the thing you have to fix, right? It's like breaking a plate. If you glue it together, it's still not perfect. No matter what you do.
Yeah, there's smoke in there now.
And then there's the third part that a lot of guys don't understand. Well, your boys too, right? But there's another part that a lot of guys don't understand. If a woman cheats on you and you take her back, there's a part of her that doesn't, no matter how much she begs you to come back, there is a part of her that knows I cheated on this man and he took me back. And so she is going to have a very difficult time ever respecting you again after that point. And a lot of guys don't understand that point because they're hearing their girl be like, take me back, take me back, take me back.
Most of my characteristic traits my persona and the way I carry myself and whatever alphaness you would consider I have, or whatever dominance I could engage in the room, is from past relationships, from women, not from life or travel or schooling. It was from learning my lessons from women. And my mom used to tell me in Spanish, todas las mujeres son hijoputas empezando conmigo, which means all women are bitches starting with me. I'm like, Mama, don't say that. You know, so she was right, you know? So so that relationship put this chip on my shoulder where I was just like, so what now? And I think the relationship after that was Chloe Ture. So that was like 2008. So I was single till 2013.
Can we talk about this? A couple things before. You had some hard times afterwards. You were living in your car for a while. Was that while you were with your girl?
Yeah. So once the divorce kicked in, I got fired because of depression.
Okay.
I had no intentions of trying. I would take red lights, hoping to get wiped out. Like I really just wanted to go.
Yeah.
And after a while, I used to grab fireworks, like 1-minute fountains, and I used to charge $500 to hold them in my hand and spraying on myself to do performances, like fire dances. So I was a stilt walker, fire dancer, break dancer. I did jazz, ballet, cheerleading, gymnastics. I did everything you could imagine with my body to be able to perform and make money. I was a performer. So I'm good on stage. That's why you see me kind of like good on the mic or good on when people are looking at me, I don't feel any pressure. I almost feel at home.
Yeah.
So Black Tape was one of those things where I had benefited a lot from a lot of my stage time. But it wasn't something that just happened overnight. I definitely had to learn a lot from all the bullshit I went through.
Can you talk about, so now your grandfather dies and there's this point.
Yeah, so I'm homeless. I'm living in the car and I refuse to go back home. My mom doesn't know that I live in the car. I got fired from everyone, from all of my jobs. I did about 18 months in my car, a Ford Focus, and I would go to my old college to shower. I was a lifeguard here and there to make a little bit extra money.
Shout out to lifeguards.
Yeah.
That's a way to make money when you're young, man.
Yeah, lifeguards just learn CPR and you're set to go.
You're set, bro. Just sit there.
Yeah, just sit there. That's all I did. My only rescue was on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I wasn't even working.
Shout out to Wet n Wild in Garland, Texas in 1996.
So, where was I?
You were talking. So I'm gonna get to the shoebox with the money.
Yeah,
the money. Yeah.
So, my mom tells me, hey, your grandmother had an accident, and my mother and my grandmother didn't get along because of my father had passed away, and my mom felt that my grandmother had something to do with it. Not that she didn't help or some shit, whatever, fine. So my mom says, listen, your grandmother's been taken custody by the state. They're probably going to start locking down her assets. We need someone in the family to represent the home. So I drive to the house, and I put my phone on the car. I'm calling my friends saying, meet me at this address. I had a little bit of gas left. I had no cash. When I got to the house, I lost the phone because I left it on the roof. So it was a Motorola Razr. Remember the pink one? I don't think you even know what that is.
Your car had run out of gas. You left it there, and you just let the thing on the
ran
roof.
out of gas on my block, and I literally just let the idle into the
Have either of you guys seen a Razr? So before the iPhone came out in 07, Motorola had this phone that was like sharp as shit. It was a super narrow.
Super thin, called the Motorola Razr.
You couldn't get on the internet, but it would look so fucking cool. Everybody wanted a Razr. Yeah.
So I got the hot pink one because I loved the bright colors.
I had the Dallas Cowboy royal blue one.
I did. Yeah, my mom and grandma had those.
Yeah, so I lose the Razr, and then when I walk into the house, it smelled like
mildew. Probably.
Yeah, it just smelled like mold and mildew. My grandmother was by herself, and she didn't really have a lot of support.
Is that the same house you have right now? I'm not going to say what city it is, but yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that house is completely rebuilt.
Of course.
From bottom to top. Like, you would flush the toilet, pink water would come out the bathtub. You turn on the AC, and it smelled like a toaster. None of the doors locked. I think I probably had like a good 3-foot hole, three different 3-foot holes in the ceiling where you could see the sky. I dropped down on my knees and I started crying. I'm like, what the fuck have I done to deserve this shit? And my boy Gus, who I had called before I had gotten to the house, shows up. Now, Gus has a stuttering problem, so he knocks on the door. I let him in. He goes, $500 cash, takes me to the store to buy a new Razr, another $200. Remember when phones were $200?
$200, bro.
So I come back to the house and I get this urge to clean what was my grandfather's closet. This is 2008. My grandfather died in 1999. So for 9 years, there's a box with $26,486 on October 18th of 2008 that I had found. Those numbers will never disappear from my mind.
By the way, we met on October 18th, 2022.
Yeah.
Sick. Yep. So on October 18th, I find this money, right?
We were talking about it today.
So next thing you know, I start grabbing the money, and Gus is standing next to me. I'm throwing the money in the air, and he goes, thousands. I'm like, yes, there's thousands. It was $16,000 in 20s. I counted it 4 times. I've never seen that much money in my life at the time. I gave him $1,000. I gave my mom money. I gave my sister money. I gave my friends money. And then I started shopping my ass off. I bought BB Simon belts. I went to Crowbar with like $3,000 in my pocket with 3 ugly guys. I'm like, what the fuck? I saw a bachelorette party. I said, I'll pay for everything. Let us party with you. So that's when I kind of like started getting the jump start of my life again. And then the last $1,500, I bought a camera on eBay.
Do you remember which one it was?
Yeah, Rebel XTI.
Okay.
With the cheap kit, it was probably like $150.
Do you have was it the point and shoot or the one with the you take the lens off?
Yeah. It was all semi-pro, but you could put a L series lens on it.
So like a cropped, it was a crop sensor.
I don't even think crop sensors were even fucking invented at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
But you could change the lenses, and I was just running off little lenses. I got a new girlfriend, and she was working at Hooters. So because she worked at Hooters, I knew all the Hooter girls.
Do I know this girlfriend?
Lourdes? I don't think.
No, I don't know her. Okay.
So this was right before Chloe.
Okay.
So I ended up going to Hooters, and because I knew all the girls, and the girls knew that I was Lourdes' man, they felt comfortable with me, and I started doing photo shoots. Motorcycles, cars, hot rods, and I was just getting here and there, getting published with a Rebel XTI. Then I got Maxim, then I got FHM, then I got Playboy with a shit camera. If they found out that I was shooting JPEG with like $150 lens, they'd flip their brains out. But because I was pulling good work, I didn't expect to be a good photographer. I just wanted to figure out how to make this happen. And then one day I'm doing a photo shoot, and a model, I don't know her name, I don't remember anything about her. All I know is she was Venezuelan, and she had asked me to tape her. She showed me a drawing of what looked like 2 girls wrapped in tefillin. you know, to fill in.
You know when you wrap people's hands, you know what I'm saying? But the whole body wrapped up in like wrap that goes around hands for boxers.
Tape. It looked like it was loose tape, right?
I'm like a mummy, almost like a mummy.
So the two girls were wrapped together, and she was like, "Do this." I didn't have scissors, bro. I wrapped that girl like I says it on my bio. I wrapped her like 2 Christmas hams wrapped in rubber bands, and she loved it. I took the photos. Next thing you know, I go home. My father was an architect. I was doing college level architecture and drafting by the time I was in like the 9th grade. And when I started establishing some technique to what I was doing with the black tape, I started creating more designs, and I was practicing with all of the models that I had known. Now remember, this was after my marriage, so I had knew all the dancers as well from the glam rock company. So I would just hit them up.
I just want to point this out. You're dating a girl who introduced you to a bunch of girls at Hooters, and you worked with a dance company.
It was my dance company.
Your dance company that introduced you to a bunch of girls. So girls introduced you to other girls.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I was in dance, I was in cheerleading.
Everybody listen, hold on. Girls introduced him to other girls.
100%.
Girls introduced, just listen. Okay, cool. Keep going.
So when I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, I was in dance, I was in ballet, and everyone was like, "You're gay." I'm like, "You smell like your boys, while I smell like your girlfriend." like for real, bro? Like, you really gonna call me gay? So whatever. And I'll be honest, my father thought I was gay too. I used to have to pay a girl chocolate cake, a girl named Patty. She was in the color guard, and I'd pay her chocolate cake to just come make out with me whenever my dad would walk by the room. Because my dad really thought it was me. I love you anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm like, I swear to God, Dad, I'm not in a hurry. So I traded chocolate cake to come fucking
She
chill
gives
with.
me cookies from Crumble to make out with me.
Yeah.
On camera. Yep.
I have to do the same thing. It's okay.
It's all good. But the chocolate cake's good because even though whatever, she was cute, she tasted great. You know, it's fucking chocolate cake.
Yeah. It's a double whammy there. Like, you can't lose.
So being around girls my whole life put me in a position where I had a demeanor where the girls didn't feel like they were threatened or that I was on their shit. To me, it was really like, let's get the job done. I need the photos. I need the tape. I need the practice. You guys need the job. You guys need to learn. I need to learn. So we just kept working. Yeah, it increased my chances, and it's like it was something where it's like I'm surrounded by like so many beautiful girls. I don't have to kind of stress or compete because I'm the only guy.
Yeah.
And it just put me in a state of mind where it was just like I never really compete, even if there are a bunch of guys. My brain's already at a neutral state. It's just normal. That's how I usually just feel. And it's helped me with my approach. I don't solicit models. Models contact me, and then I'll give them the pitch, but I don't necessarily, hey, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
You've seen me. I'll call you. It's like, hey, I don't know who she is. You want to put in a good word for me? But I won't necessarily contact
For sure.
Directly, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's you know, people say bullshit, and then I'll be like, no, what you're saying is not true, because it's competitors who might say something. You remember the whole thing with Lizzie Acosta, and Lizzie's cool now, but somebody was in Lizzie's ear saying some stuff that wasn't true.
Yeah, so when Lizzie comes to this, I heard so many things. It's not true. This was an amazing event. It's like, well, you got to understand, like, I would say most people that hate on me don't know me at all. And then when they meet me, they're all like, damn, you know, like, I didn't think you were going to be such a cool dude.
Yeah.
And like, because I'm kind of normal at the end of the day. Like, if we hung out, I smoke weed, I talk shit, we all use the bathroom, we all fucking, you know, have a normal life. So it's not that really that much different than anyone else. But yeah, I do carry myself with a different type of persona. I'm very arrogant online on my social media. If you give me like a nasty comment, I'm super snappy, and I'm like, oh, this guy's full of shit. I call it the Kanye syndrome, whatever the fuck.
The Kanye syndrome.
But people can't stand me that don't know me. And then the people who know me are laughing. It's like, bro, he's really not like that. He's very humble. You know, because in real life, I am pretty humble. It's just, if you want to talk shit, I'm down to go toe to toe.
So what happened with you have these girls that are wrapped in like this linen, whatever, and then what gave you the idea to start using like different polygons?
So once the tape kind of like started taking off, I was studying different forms of adhesive, and I kind of became a tape expert without intentionally or noticing. I didn't know. I was just like, okay, I need to try this.
They all wear baby oil too. I don't understand. What is the point of that?
I tell them not to wear baby oil until after.
Until after, okay.
Once they're after, then it's just like for the shine. It's more for aesthetics.
Okay, got it. Okay.
The oil is actually a problem. Like it
wouldn't stick to you.
Yeah, you lose 50% of the shelf life of the tape the second you put oil on it. So whatever, I started taping a couple girls with the black tape. And because I was a dancer, and then I got hired by Mansion in South Beach, which was like a legendary club. And I had to tape the dancers in a design that allowed them to dance all night and then use the bathroom and then go back to dancing. Ooh. So I had to create a design that I call the standard. It was standard because it was a standard design that I would do 6 times, 3 times a week, over and over and over and over. So you know that design I do that I could do in 3 minutes and 50 seconds?
Yes.
That real fast one? That's a standard. I've done it so many times I could do it with my eyes closed. So that design, you could fart and your head will explode. Nothing will pop out. Like that's just super solid. So after a while, I started kind of like testing new adhesives because I was working with Claudia San Pedro, Gabby Barcelo, Diane Padron, Diana Levy. These were all like the it girls in Miami 10, 15 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we've all gotten older. They got kids, married now, you know, who knows? They're like Reggie Buff's ex-girlfriend, you know, what the fuck. So Claudia was like the Kim K killer. Everyone called her the Kim K killer because she looked just like Kim K, and Reggie was cheating on Kim with Claudia at the time. And I was Claudia's like main photographer, and I was really helping her. I hate to say it, but I'm probably like the strongest stepping stone for no-name models to blowing up.
I totally agree. I absolutely agree, yeah.
And it became a problem for me because I didn't want to be a stepping stone. I wanted them to remember. I wanted them to respect. And it was like, once you move on to bigger and better things, you go.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons that I realized that when I was living in the car and I didn't go home, I had this state of mind where it's like, lions leave the pride, they don't come back. So if I trained you to be a sick model, you're leaving the pride. You're not going to come back. I have nothing that I could do for you. The idea is for you to go start your own.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to kind of like get that state of mind so I wouldn't be so emotionally attached to all the efforts that I had put into the models. And then little by little, I just started becoming more emotionally intelligent and becoming more of a I understand it's like a school. You get your 12 kids for you get your 30 kids for the year, and then they're gone forever. You don't see them. Then you get a whole new set of kids. So that's how Paradise Challenge just kind of started rotating models and photographers and friends. And
some people, you know, made it forever. Chris, I forgot his last name, passed away.
Chris Rifkin.
Yeah, Chris Rifkin. He made it to every single one.
Yeah.
Gave him an award for coming to every single one. He passed away, and he passed away last year. That was crazy, man.
But we still have models like Gabby, Carrie Ramos. She's the Queen of Paradise. She was Miss Costa Rica. She contacts me all the time. Like, these are people that care about what I've done for them in their lives. But I don't expect anyone to stick around, to be honest with you. It's just, you just got to accept that.
Yeah, it's the nature of the business. So I have a couple questions here. The delicate part of, you give them the part that goes on their vagina, the first part.
For the black tape.
Yeah, the black tape. You give them that part. They put that part on. How does that work?
Yeah, so I make like a triangle. That's basically, we call it the kitty patch.
Yeah. And how do they pee? They have to take that off to go pee. I've never asked you this before.
Yeah. So they apply it themselves, and I give them instructions on how to kind of apply it, but they're never exposed to me. I don't see anything. And then once the design has been wrapped up and locked in, there's ways for them to be able to manage to go to the bathroom. But it's not impossible. The only thing is that there are some designs that require for us to cut it. They have to like remove it and then a little reconstructive. But it's never like in the area where you would feel exposed.
You're right.
I'm working around like the tops, not the bottoms.
Got it.
No artist, no body painter, no black tape artist, no body taper. No one in the body art industry should be fucking around down there at all. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
So if they're sitting there saying, "Oh, I need to apply it because I'm the professional," he's talking shit.
He's talking.
He's just a creeper.
Yes.
So I guess my other question is the jealous boyfriends, right? The issues that you've had before.
Oh yeah, how do you deal with them?
So how do you deal with that whole situation?
I'll be honest, it's not many.
Yeah, I would assume
I've gotten a lot.
Many.
All right, the crazy story was I taped an older woman, and I don't remember. I didn't make a big deal about it. I was just taping an older woman. She looked great. I taped her, and then the next day I got a phone call from a man saying, "You taped my wife yesterday." And I'm like, "Oh shit, who's your wife?" And he says it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember." And then he was like, "Well, I would like you to come to the house on Tuesday. I'll leave instructions and money in the mailbox." And I was like, "Okay." So I come to the house, and this was like a well taken care of woman, probably in her early 40s, late 40s. Like, she looked really good for her age, well taken care of, worked out, good hair, good skin, everything. So I read the instructions, and the instructions said, taper however you like, just leave the crotch area open. For me, all the designs start with that kitty patch. So I'm like, how do I make all this hold if I got no anchor?
Right.
Because it all locks into that spot. So whatever, I taped it the best I could. The next day I get 2 separate emails, one from her and one from him, saying that I've saved their relationship, they've reignited their chemistry, the sex was amazing, this and this, they're re-eloping, they're married, they're getting married again. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
I'm like, holy shit, like I just saved
from
these,
taping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've never really like had a dude kind of like get mad at me for taping the girl.
Right.
I've had a homie be like, please don't tape my girl, but
Right.
They won't get mad at me for taping the girl.
Yeah.
It's not like the other photographers out there, they kind of like, they'll put their foot in your mouth or they'll hold your hand and kiss it, and they do a lot of touchy-feely. If you notice when I take pictures with the girls, my hands are in front or behind or in my pocket. I'm not trying to like pimp them. It's never been something where I was like, oh, I'm claiming these hoes. You know? It's like, these are my dragons. Like, and I call them dragons because Victoria's Secret has angels, and I feel like we're a lot more intimidating.
Oh, that's cute.
We're a lot more empowering. We're a lot more like, we're supposed to evoke some type of emotion, good or bad. I could give a fuck, to be honest with you. But if I'm making you feel a certain type of way, then yeah, remember who the fuck we are, and these are the dragons.
I want to know the story behind the fangs.
The fangs?
Yeah.
So when I had the injury, I was in. Should I just talk about the whole injury?
Yeah. So how old are you at this point?
I'm 41.
No. I mean, I'm sorry. When you had the double patella on the trampoline.
October. This is October.
Oh wow! I didn't know you recently got hurt like this.
Yeah. It was
Just
October.
past October?
Do I know the girl?
Yes.
Who was it? I don't know if you want to tell me.
Yes, I remember the girl that was in Jamaica, and I had said that just blot it up. Fuck
Was
it.
this your ex or something?
I made such a big deal about it. She knows. So
Okay, I vaguely remember this. Yeah.
So she's a dancer.
She left. That's right. I remember this story. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
She's a dancer. She's a performer. She was someone that I felt like could be a little bit more conservative for my provocative life. So I wanted to, see if we could make this happen. In a short amount of time, I had moved mountains for her. I took her to Jamaica. I took her to New York Fashion Week. I put her as the face. Took her to Spain. Took her to Barcelona, Rome. Boom, boom, boom. Traveling the world. And then one day she's like, then I say, I'm going to gymnastics because you're a gymnast. And I figured like if I do some gymnastics, we could grow and do more shit together. First day of gymnastics, I was a gymnast for like 10 years. And this is 20 years after. I'm running through the routines, reevaluating. I'm outperforming all of the other students. These are all normal people trying to become gymnasts in an adult class. And I'm an ex-gymnast just doing all my backflips, my front tugs, my back handsprings, ups, downs, left to right, all that shit. The last routine was bounce, bounce, bounce on the trampoline, front tuck. Bounce, 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 trampoline, front tuck. I bounce, bounce, and I hear the trampoline snap. Bah! Oh, no. I land on the trampoline, and there's this burning pain in my legs, and then I realized that the trampoline didn't break. That sound came from the patellis tendons.
Gosh.
Both my kneecaps were in my quads, and my kneecaps looked like armpits. They were just gaps. And my legs are bent. So one of the other trainers just straightened out my legs so that the pain stopped, and within 48 hours, I was in surgery. And about a week later, she didn't even know I was in the hospital. So one day, she's in the group chat for New York Fashion Week, and one of the girls are like, I hope you get better soon. So she's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I'm in the hospital. She goes, are you still in Europe? I'm like, no, I'm in Miami. And she goes, what happened? I said, well, I got into gymnastics, and my legs exploded. And then she goes, I think we should stop speaking.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm the type where, because she felt guilty that it was because I jumped in gymnastics.
She felt guilty? She should have come and been, if she's your partner, she should come help you out, man.
No. So that put me in a position where it's like, I'm the type where it's like, if you don't want to fuck with me anymore, I'll never call you again.
Yeah.
Like, you hang up on me, I will never pick up the phone. Like, I'm so stupid about shit like that. So whatever. I left her alone. I left her alone completely. And after 8 weeks of me being bedridden, I go to see my mom. Well, my mom comes over to see me, and she sees it in my eyes that I am ready to pull the trigger. I don't want to live. I don't want to try. I don't want to heal. I don't want to keep working. And my sister had just passed away from COVID.
Oh, sorry.
So my mom's looking at me, and the first time, this lady's a dragon-eating lion, bro. This is a fearless woman. And for the first time, I saw the fear in her eyes. So I come to my senses where I'm like, in order for me to save this body, I need to destroy Joel Alvarez. How can I destroy Joel Alvarez? So I started rehabilitation. I spent about $10,000 a month just in neurowave therapy, holistic therapy, witchcraft, fucking, physical therapy. I was in meditation, Kundalini. I was in breath work, Hoffman shit. I mean, I tried everything to like really get my brain into this position where I didn't want to hurt myself. I was walking in 5 weeks. I was off the braces in 5 weeks. I was traveling in 6 weeks. And then I started choreographing the fashion show, which was in February. This is October, November. By December, I'm already planning New York Fashion Week. And my idea was I'm going to destroy Joel Alvarez on stage, but I needed a way to invite her. So I hired her. And I said, hey, I need you to come and assist me at New York Fashion Week. So she comes to New York Fashion Week with no one in my team, no one in the stands, no one in the audience knew what I'm about to do. So when the show was about to start, I stop and I say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something that's going to shock you all. I'm not going to get hurt myself. No one's going to get hurt. Just please don't worry about me when it's done. And everyone's like, what the fuck is he talking about? So she's in the corner. She's like, So whatever. I get her to sit front row, and I
This
tell
is
her,
the most Joel shit I've ever heard in my entire life, bro.
Super
This
Joel.
is like, if you told me the story and didn't tell me who did it, I'd be like, it was fucking Joel who did this shit.
I use my art as my weapon, 100%. So whatever. I tell her, I need you to hold this jacket because it's going to be the costume change for the show. So I need you to be in the front row. She goes, well, why do I need to be in the front row? You got to be at arm's distance for me to grab that jacket.
This is the girl that
abandoned me with the legs, right? Cool.
Okay.
So I had just introduced the body chain program, the body chain collection, and the body chain collection was my way of breaking the chain of the pain, right? So I said that. So at the beginning of the fashion show, it's that song from Linkin Park, I tried so hard and nothing for all,
my God.
right? So no one understands what the song is, but she's there like, so she's now, okay,
Why is this song important to her?
because I tried so hard and it didn't matter at all.
Okay, got it.
Right?
I thought
So
maybe this
all
was
the
your
words.
song with her.
All the words meant
Because she knows she's
everything.
guilty.
Yeah.
She did
Bro,
something bad. She's getting called out for it.
This is Tom Petty right here. This is Petty White
beautiful.
right here.
This is beautiful.
Yes, right. So I have the video. I have the video if you want to use it. If you want to use it for the thing. So whatever. I go to my best friend, and he's an audio producer, and I tell him I need you to record me say these things, and he's like, "What?" And I go, last September, I had no intentions of doing New York Fashion Week, but I met a girl that had changed my life. When I met this girl, I moved mountains for her. And this is beautiful. This is live on stage, right? So I'm standing in the middle. I'm standing in the middle of the show, like Michael Jackson in 1993, fucking just for 3 minutes, and all you hear is me talking, just right. So I'm not looking at her because she's right there, but I'm looking at everybody else.
I've seen the photo of this, but I've never seen. I didn't hear the audio.
I have the video, right? Yeah. So the next girl comes out, and the next girl that comes out is her doppelganger.
Bro.
I found her.
Bro.
Oh my God.
Bro, we are at petty level 1 million at this point, bro.
So I blindfold her on stage, like saying out of sight, out of mind.
God.
And the song is the song is Seven Devils, which means I'm ready to kill myself, and there's no religion that's gonna fix anything, right?
This is beautiful.
So I finished taping her on stage. She's understanding every word in this fashion show, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck is this bitch that he's talking about?" Right? Now the whole fashion show, I'm wearing my braces, my leg braces, and you could tell that I had gone through an injury because I said it. I said I had gone through an injury. And this woman abandoned me. And now I want to show, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to let her go. From this day forward, I will be called Drakhan Blackhart. I have to bury Joel Alvarez. Right? So in the middle of New York Fashion Week, I take off my braces. I walk up to her. I present the braces to her.
Oh, no.
She's sitting next to Vogue. Vogue is her.
Oh,
Vogue is right here.
Wow.
So Vogue is like this, like filming me, and then they're like,
you gotta get her too.
So she's in tears, like she's annihilated, and I'm like, and I had like one thing left. I had like this little keychain of the day we met with a photo of us when I put in New York Fashion Week that last September. So this was September New York fall, September or February New York spring.
Okay.
So by the time I did New York Fashion Week, I'm talking about how I met her last season, and the videography is the footage from last season. So you see that it's her with the doppelganger that looks just like her. I told the story perfectly. Everyone understood it, but they didn't know who I was talking about until
the end. Okay.
Oh, bro.
This
so I
is
take off the necklace. I throw it at her. I didn't throw it at her. I didn't throw it at her. I tossed it at her because I couldn't reach her.
He's on stage.
She was like this far away, so I had to kind of like do one of these things. I took the jacket. I take the jacket, and I put it on, and I leave.
Oh no!
I leave the building. The fashion show isn't ended yet. The girls with the chains are coming out now. So I leave the building, and I'm standing in the rain. The fashion show continues. I'm trying to call an Uber. The rain is falling on my phone, and I just start laughing because I'm like, fuck, my phone's not working. And I look up, and I smile, and I'm like, 1 million pounds are off my shoulders. I did what I needed to do. I didn't fight. I didn't yell. I didn't tell her I felt bad. I didn't ask her back. I buried Joel.
That is the most poetic justice thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
So the fashion show continues. Everyone's like, where's Joel? Where's Joel? And all the girls are like, Joel's gone forever. Right? So then she texts me about 10 minutes later, and she's like, is this why you brought me here? And my response was like, 1,000%. Like, and she goes, this is some pretty evil shit. I'm like, would you have preferred me to bitch and fight and be on your dick and make your life miserable. Like, I paid you, I flew you out first class, gave you a nice hotel. You had an amazing experience.
I really loved it.
And then she was just like, holy shit. 5 months later, she calls me.
Oh, of course.
She's crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? She goes, because nobody has been here for me after what you did for 5 weeks. And now I know what you went through. So I apologize. And then we're cool, but we don't fuck with each other like that. But it made me change who I was. But before I had done the show, I removed the brown from my eyes. I installed the fangs. I changed my name. I have a different wardrobe. I have a different persona, the way I carry myself on stage. I don't look like some college kid that just is happy to be here and I'm taking bitches. Now I'm like, nigga, what's up? You know, like.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the videos, and the videos are pretty powerful. I send the video to her, but she blocks me. Oh. Right? And then I tell, there's a group chat with 75 girls. That's the
most petty shit I've ever heard in my life.
There's a group chat with 75 girls. So I tell all the girls, hey, ladies, can you all please post this and collaborate with her?
Oh, my God.
70 collaborations are just June. You will know my name and you will know what you did and you will never forget. She goes to me, why'd you do this? And I go, because you forgot about me. You ain't going to forget about me again. You will never forget about me. You are part of my legacy now. I put you in my story, and she knows now.
I don't even think I'd be. I mean, I would be very guilty, but I think I would be like, I'd be like, this is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Like,
so
I don't think I'd be that mad about it.
New York Fashion Week in February, when I did March, it was the first performance of Drakhan. So the first song was "I Have No Religion," which was Joel's last words to her, and then it turned into like.
Did she come to this one too?
No.
Okay, I'm about to say, this woman wants some punishment.
No.
If she showed up to this bitch.
No, she'll never fuck with me again. Like, she had to tell her parents about me.
But we would like you on the show. Come on, hit me up and let's get you on the Michael Sartain podcast. I want to hear your side.
We want to hear this side of the story.
So whatever. Honestly, we never had any conflict. It was just something that she didn't feel was going to work out. And then when I had the accident, she was like, I don't think we should talk anymore because you're making me stress and feel guilty and stuff like that. And then I was like, damn, all I really needed was a friend. I didn't need you to, it's not like I could fucking get up and go stalk you. I'm in a bed for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
It fucked my head up, bro. It put me in a bad place. I felt like no one was there for me. And I've been doing Paradise Challenge for 10 years, and I've been the first one there, the last one to leave. I've dealt with extortion. I've dealt with kidnappings. I've dealt with fucking people robbing me. I've gone through so much shit to make sure everyone's good. And no one had my back when I was bedridden. Yeah, so I'm like, you know what, bro? Fuck Joel. Fuck all this shit. Like, I'm now a dragon, bro. And you can say whatever you want. Like, oh, you're full of shit. I'm like, I am the father of dragons, king of tape, breaker of chains. I'm the unburnt. I'm like, you.
Ruler of the red grass sea, lord of the 7 kingdoms, and protector of the realm.
Great.
100%. So a lot of people think I'm full of shit. But when you read my story, like, yo, this is pretty cool.
Intense.
Like, So I've always been the type of person where I use my art as vengeance. I won't hurt you, but I will make something that will bother you, and that will give me my satisfaction.
Damn, bro, I just started a podcast. I didn't do all that shit. That was crazy. You know both of my exes, and I was just like, unfollow. That was it. That was the end of it. I was like, unfollow.
Yeah, but they didn't leave you in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like,
no, one of them tried to. Remember how we had a certain logistical problem because one of them did. She tried to put me in the dirt. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick. Ibiza. So you talk about the whole situation with in Ibiza where you go there one time. This is probably after you started Black Tape. You go there and the guy, he offers you a certain amount of money. You get there and he's like, you can't afford to go home.
I just started Black Tape and I had the opportunity to go to Ibiza. So I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go to Ibiza. So he buys me a one-way ticket to Ibiza and he takes me to his office. He says, I'm going to pay you 100 euros per model, 6 models a night, 3 nights a week. Your apartment will be free. All you have to do is buy yourself food and pay for your gas. It's like, fuck. So I bring 2 American girls, and we plan to spend, the summer in Ibiza making 100 euros a night, 3 nights a week. 600 euros a night, 3 nights a week, which was a nice little amount of money. $1,800 a week and fucking Ibiza, and everything's paid for. I'm like, fucking amazing. So the next day I go to get paid, and I go to the office, and there's a room full of crying people that are all my age. And I'm like, why is everyone so sad? Like, so he takes me to the office and he goes 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. And I go, what's this? He goes, that's your pay for last night. I'm like, this is only 120. I'm supposed to get 100 per girl. He goes, no, I'm paying you 20 per girl. And you're going to have to pay rent. and I'm not going to buy you food, and there's nothing you could do about it because you can't afford to get back home. And he was right.
Oh, shit.
And I'm with 2 other girls that now I need to fucking feed
Something
and maintain.
sounds too good to be true.
Right?
Yeah,
Cool.
it
So-
just might be.
My crazy ass was like, okay. So I go back to the apartment, and he already knows that I'm planning some
Lord.
crazy shit because he saw it in my eyes. I was
Yeah,
like, I am
of
not
course.
sitting here crying,
Of
bro.
course,
Like,
right?
we're going to go to town, right? So this is a very big black guy, and he stands in front of my door, and he won't let me out. So I grab all my luggage, I throw it off the balcony into a chicken pen. I jump off the balcony and I start dragging all my shit through a chicken pen, and I'm like down the road, right? And I get to the main highway, and one of the guys that had saw me perform at the nightclub before goes, "Hey, aren't you the black tape guy?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Bro, this guy's trying to do this." He goes, No, get in the car, come with me." And he takes me to his fucking penthouse in Ibiza town. He's a connoisseur. I mean, he's a concierge and a chef. His wife is like a leading hairstylist. I didn't know how to make a deck. I didn't know how to make a proposal. I didn't have anything like this. Was so early in my career. So he's like, "Oh, let's make a deck." And I started presenting it to every nightclub in Ibiza. If you fuck with Ibiza nightclubs, the only place that comes close is Miami and Vegas. Everyone else is just garbage. So I destroyed the Ibiza market. But now the Ibiza market is all the Matutes family, which is all mafia, and everything has to stay within a certain guideline of pay rate. So you can't get paid too much, right? So my first job was taping 40 people at Privilege, which is the world's largest nightclub at the time. I think it was like 16,000 people.
Okay.
So I tape all of them, and we have the video. I just found the video the other day. It was amazing. And I literally posted it on my Instagram. This was the hardest day of my life. So whatever.
You tape 40 girls. This is in San Antonio.
I taped 32 girls and 6 guys. But the 6 guys are basically women trapped in men's bodies. They were all gay, and and some of the girls were like post-op men that I couldn't tell you. I'm just doing my job. You see it in my face. I'm like, just pump them out, right? So after like 6 months of me living in Ibiza, I established myself strong enough where I could hold Paradise Challenges. I had enough friends with the cops, the politicals, the gangsters, the mafia. Like, when you deal with women, you got to be very careful, because if they think you're human trafficking or that you're interfering in their business, the government won't interfere. And I've gone through shit like this. So I have to prove to them, no, these are my clients. They paid. We're providing content. We are like-minded individuals. We travel here and there. So we had a little bit of beef in Bali where they all confiscated all our passports. And we
we're going to get to that.
Yeah, I bet. So Ibiza was one of those places where I learned the hard way very quickly to make sure that you have some ways out. You had an exit clause. You had enough money to get in and out on your own.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when you see me run the logistics and operations on these trips, you know that it comes from experience. It's not like I'm just trying to blow smoke up your ass. Like, I've gone through it, bro. Trust me. Let me be the one that goes through it instead of you going through it, because you're going to suffer if you think you know everything. And traveling is not fun, bro. It's hard work.
Yeah, the logistics is the other part besides the recruiting.
Yeah.
The recruiting is a big part, but the logistics that you do, one of the reasons why I haven't been on a real vacation in 25 years, why I would go to all the Paradise Challenges, because I knew you had everything handled and I didn't have to make all these decisions.
So I learned logistics and operations by like jumping in. I wasn't educated in this. I was experienced in it. I honestly, I could run circles around anybody that's gone schooling with logistics and operations. There's no event, there's no destination Photoshop, photo workshop or photo shoot that comes even closer. We have the best models and the most models. We have the most destinations. We have the most photographers. We have the most relationships with ministries of health and the tourism boards around the world. We've been to Muslim countries left and right with their support. I've done the Maldives 3 times. I've done Dubai 3 times. I've done Costa Rica, Hawaii, Jamaica, Ibiza. Where else have we been to?
We did Las Vegas once.
Yeah, we
back
did
in 2017.
Yeah, we did
Really?
Las Vegas once. Yeah. So I've done a lot. I try not to do things in the States, because what's the purpose of you just shooting at your backyard? Like, when we go do somewhere you want, right?
Somewhere cool.
But and then you'll see people go all the way to France to shoot a model against the wall. I'm like, we can't tell you're in France, my brother. Go outside and shoot next to this olive tree or this fucking, this yacht.
Yep.
So we're trying to encourage people to take advantage of the landscape. At the time, I was a publishing photographer, so I was getting published in Maxim, FHM, GQ, and all that stuff. But the reason I was getting published was because I was giving them high production value content versus just shooting in the studio. So when they see a girl that they thought was great on a white wall with a girl that they thought was great on a waterfall that was going to cost them 10 times the budget, they're like, okay, we'll take this content.
Yeah.
And I wasn't necessarily charging. I just wanted to get the print so that I could attract more girls to sign up to Paradise Challenge.
Yep.
And then doing that, everything I've done in my life, from Black Tape, Paradise Challenge, photo shoots, dancing, has all been like a game of chess. I just keep playing the cards until I get my way through. Like, I'm a master at looking at the board and seeing what's the next piece to play.
Right.
What happened? Did you ever have another encounter with that dude who ripped you off in Ibiza?
Mars?
Yeah.
No, bro. So a couple years later, I go back to Ibiza, and me and my boy Luis, you know Luis Munoz.
Of course.
Yeah, so
Luis just married.
Yeah, Carrie Nautique. Yeah, so Luis Munoz.
You met Carrie Nautique one time, yeah.
So Luis Munoz is a good trumpet player. He was like a star trumpet player in high school. So we're walking down the street, and he's got his trumpet, and we see Mars on the other side of the road, and he goes, I'm like, why are you doing this? We don't need that attention. Because this is a big boy.
Yeah.
He can snap us in half if you want.
Snap us in half.
So yeah, he never fucked with me again. I'll be honest, I know he knows who I am. I know he's seen my success. I know that he's seen me come from that point, and I guarantee you he never expected that I was going to be one of those kids crying in that room that ended up coming to where I'm at now.
For sure. It motivates you.
Yeah, 100%. That story is a heavy story for me. I love that story.
So
I repeat it to myself.
Here's another one, because I was loosely part of this one, was your first trip to South Africa and then your second trip to South Africa.
Man.
The second time, it was me and Marielle.
And you held it down.
Yeah, trying to hold it down because I didn't understand what was going on. So can you talk about what happened the first time you went to South Africa?
Yeah, so I go to South Africa with Chloe Ture. And Chloe Ture was Playmate of the Year for the 25th time.
Yeah.
She's got more Playmates than anyone else before she was 21. So me and Chloe were dating. She was a powerhouse. So me and her were together. We were great. I would say 10 of her covers are shot by me. But once I started getting published, then she started realizing that we could sell this service to all of her friends that were willing to pay. CJ Sparks, Holly Wolf, Laura Cole, and these were all like the girls that helped me start Paradise Challenge at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So we go to South Africa after her after her Playboy shoot, and I meet a girl named Roxy Robinson. Roxy Robinson is like, oh, we'll get you mansions, we'll get you hotels, we'll get you this, we'll get you that. So we start putting the program together, and I was like, okay, send me the invoice for the buses. And she goes, no, we got you Lamborghinis. I was like, I got 20 girls coming with luggages from America. How many Lamborghinis are you going to have to pick up these girls? Just fucking put them on a bus so they could get to the hotel.
Right.
Okay, cool, no problem. So she cancels the Lamborghinis, and she gets me a bus. And I go, send me the invoice for the bus. Bus this much, driver this much, hair and makeup this much. I'm like, why is the fucking bus company charging me for hair and makeup? So I knew she was trying to throw a little bit on top so she could make some, because she knew she was going to make a third, plus whatever she could skim.
Right.
So Lewis is like, all right, no, we need letterheads from the actual companies with invoices from the actual company, which eliminated her from trying to make the cut. Mm-hmm. Everything falls through. We got nothing, right? So one of the ladies that was part of the Paradise Challenge that lived in South Africa had a 7-bedroom home, and her kids weren't home. So I'm sleeping in a Teletubby bunk bed. Luis Munoz is in a fucking like a Buzz Lightyear bunk bed. Paradise Challenges, we're all just trying to make this happen. Paradise Challenge ends, everyone goes home. Me, Ron Hansen, and Luis Munoz are the only ones left in South Africa. They asked me to do a Black Tape Project show for 500,000 Rand, which is the equivalent of $500. I said fine, just so we could get the video, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I do the show with 2 local white girls from South Africa. This is in Sartain, which is the most dangerous. You're more in danger in Sartain than you are in the bush with lions. All right? So we do the show. I'm drinking, and Luis is like, I'm going downstairs to get paid. So Luis goes downstairs. I'm drinking some more. Luis comes back up, and Luis is not happy. So Luis is putting on his jacket. He goes, we got to go now. I'm like, why? We're celebrating, bro. Everything's great. And he goes, bro, they just put a gun to my head, and they made me swipe $4,000 worth of credit cards.
Oh, wow.
So I'm walking out. I'm throwing vases. I'm kicking chairs. I'm like, fuck these people, blah, blah, blah. We get in the car, and we start driving down the parking lot to leave the building, and I see Roxy's car. This is the day I stopped drinking at these events. So I jumped out, and I kicked both her fucking rearview mirrors clean off. And I tell the guys, meet me downstairs. I go downstairs. I make a turn right into security. Now I'm trying to outrun South Africans. It's not going to happen. Yeah. My Cuban ass is never outrunning any South African. So they catch me, and they don't call the cops. They don't take me to jail. They take me to the office. Roxy walks in with all of her mafia friends, and I didn't know how heavy she was rolling. So now they punch me in the stomach. They slap me in the face. They put me under the table, but they let me keep my phone. They're like, do what you need to do to get the damages of their car. They wanted $11,000 American for 2 fucking rearview mirrors.
For 2
I'm like,
mirrors.
you're gonna get $250 each, bro, at most. Whatever. So I'm the type of person that if I'm in danger or I'm in trouble, I don't back down. I hold my shit. I'm like, you're gonna have to blow my brains out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very stupid of me, but it's just the way I am. So whatever. Finally, someone mediates the negotiation of my release. I'm looking at the second story ready to jump off, but when I got to the second story, it was actually 4 stories. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'll make it. I already jumped off the second story before I figured I'd make it, right? No. So I'm on a standoff on my end with like 15 guys. It's Lewis, the girl, and the mediator. They let me cross, so now I'm on the other side, and Lewis is standing where she is, and Lewis has got his left ear talking to the banks, trying to get the money that they had swiped from us.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The girl's here, and then the mediator's up front with them, and then all the white gangsters were like, "You fucking puss. You fucking puss." And I was like, "Listen, bro, if you're going to insult me, I need you to complete the word. The word is pussy."
The word.
And they throw a glass at me, hits me in the chest. It falls on the ground. It shatters. Lewis looks down, and they pop him in the face with another glass. I mean, like, blood everywhere.
Yeah.
They scatter. I'm now following the trail of blood. I see Lewis get into the elevator. I follow Lewis down, but I don't know what floor he got off without me testing every floor.
Right.
I open the elevator. Guess who's there? The same motherfucker who caught me when I blew the rear mirrors out. So I grab him by the collar, and I'm like, "Bro, if you don't let me go, they're going to kill me." So he let me go, and I ran for 20 minutes. I just kept running and running and running. I found myself in a hotel inside the stairwell, and I went up the stairwell. So if I heard someone come down a couple floors down, I would go up. If I heard someone come up, I'd go down. I was just trying to stay clear, right?
Right.
But I got my geolocation on my WhatsApp. They're putting Lewis's face together after 2 hours. So he's in the hospital.
Crazy.
They finally come to pick me up. I go see Lewis at the hospital, and I start crying because I was like, my stupid ass made this all happen. You get me? Like this was all my fault. So they wrap Lewis's head like a fucking mummy. We get to the airport. They're saying he can't fly. I'm like, it's not impact because you can't fly with impact.
Right.
It can only be lacerations. So we had to say it was all lacerations. He's got the cuts, so he'll be able to fly. We went home in pieces, bro. We were in pieces. So after a couple years,
hold on, what happened with the girls? What happened to the whole challenge? Was
Paradise Challenge had left.
Oh, they'd already left.
They had already left. This was just me and Lewis and Ron.
So this happened. So she waited to the end because she felt disrespected.
Yeah.
And then tried to muscle you for some money because she knows they paid you money, so that she was trying to get the money out of you. Okay, I got it now.
So she was technically owed more than what she stole from us.
Okay.
And we were willing to pay. We just needed to get home, run our expenses, see how much our baggage was going to be, the flights, all that bullshit. So whatever. After a while, I call Chloe and I tell Chloe, "Hey, look, they did this to us. They did this to us." And then Chloe's like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself." She's hanging out with Roxy. So that's when I knew that me and Chloe couldn't be friends anymore. So a couple years later, I decided to do Paradise Challenge again in South Africa. This story was crazy. So I go to the airport on Friday, and I didn't have enough pages on my passport. I had 2 pages. You need 4 because you connect through Belgium and then through South Africa. Then you got to connect through Belgium and then come back. So they got a stamp every time, right? So I didn't have enough pages for the stamp. When I get to the airport, they tell me you got to go to the passport office, get a new passport. So this is Friday. Saturday, Sunday, everyone's arriving. Monday, Paradise Challenge starts. Now I'm at the passport office applying for my new 24-hour passport, and I don't get it till Tuesday. I pick it up on Tuesday. This is day 3 of Paradise Challenge. And I'm telling him, I need you to hold it down because I am not there, right? So now I get the passport. I get on the plane, and I'm so stressed out that I take 600 milligrams of an edible. I have a full-out seizure.
Here we go.
I have a full-out seizure.
I didn't know any of this.
I had a full-out seizure before the plane took off. So they kicked me off the plane, made me get a clear to fly. So now I'm flying out Wednesday, right? I get on the plane on Wednesday. I get to London. London's like, okay, connecting into South Africa, where's your clear to fly? I'm like, I gave it to them in LA. He was like, oh, you need one here. I was like, how do you think I got here? So I need to go back to the doctor, right? During all of this, I'm receiving text messages from the mafia saying, we know you're coming. We know who you are. You know what you did. And I'm telling him, I was like, all right, bro, so the universe is really preventing me from getting there. So I think I'm going to take this as a sign, and I need you to hold it down because I believe that if I show up, I'm going to endanger everyone.
Yeah.
So 3 days, by the time I told him and he says I'll hold it down, and I gave up on trying to get to South Africa, I get a message from the head of South Africa's mafia saying, we found out what really happened to you. Roxy Robbins is not part of our organization anymore. You have immunity in our country. You need anything from us, we will help you. But I didn't go and make that a topic because then everyone would have thought that I had known that the mafia was on us and that I'm endangering everyone.
Yeah, of course. So
I got you and Marielle. And Marielle's like, poor Marielle is just dealing with life. And then he's just trying to do his fucking military experience, trying to handle it.
I have some of the coolest shots of elephants. We got up right at a 24-70 lens, and I'm like right up. These elephants are walking right up to the thing. I'm seeing giraffes. I'm like, awesome. But I was really sick. I had caught some kind of like bacteria or something on the way there, and I was fucking destroyed the whole time.
And this was when Ebola was popping
Bro,
up.
I was so like, now
We walk into the airport and they're screening us and checking our temperature.
I know. Michael's ass was over there telling everybody he had Ebola.
Yeah. He had 2 bolas.
How many Ebola shots did you get, babe? How many? Like 5 while you were over there? What?
He had several bolas for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, South Africa is one of those places where honestly, and then we did a third one recently.
okay.
And again, I didn't show up only because I just prefer not to. Once I start, and I did that on purpose. I'm in the process where I'm interested in selling the company.
Yeah.
And most people, when they see that my company's successful because of me, they think that I am the key player. So I'm trying to show them like, you don't need me there. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't shoot, I don't drive. There's no reason for me to be there. I'm just the visionary. I'll work with you, but I don't need to be there. So I started stepping out from not being at the trips so that I didn't have to, be present and give that impression that Joel Alvarez or Drakhan needed to be at the events.
Yeah.
You don't see the owner of Nike at the fucking Foot Locker selling fucking shoes, right? So it's like, and I'm not saying I'm the owner of Nike, but goddamn, like I don't do shit except for like, hey, is your hot water working?
Yeah, right.
It's pretty much the most I do. So yeah, it became something where Paradise Challenge had kicked my ass more than any other business I've ever been in, and it also put me at a level of experience and respect between my community.
So do you go to any of them anymore? Or?
Yeah, I still go to them.
Like all of the locations you
honestly,
still go to?
Honestly, I could cancel. I cannot go to Puerto Vallarta and it'll run perfectly.
Yeah.
We have a cookie cutter system. You guys just need to follow the schedule. The hotel handles the load.
I yell at everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could have guessed that.
I lose my voice, right? Now I got a megaphone, and I was like, here, you just put your microphone in front of the megaphone and just go.
I didn't even do it. I just started standing on a chair, started screaming at people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, PC's definitely put some hair on my chest and tighten up my spine, but at the same time, it's I'm tired.
When does a certain individual pee in your luggage?
Oh wow.
Can we talk about that?
What?
Are you sure?
Hell yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
So we're in Cannes, France, and France, and Chloe Ture is acting up, and she's my girlfriend at the time, and she thought that because she's the owner's girlfriend, that she could do and say.
So this is before South Africa.
Man, why is like none of this is like shocking me?
So Chloe's.
By the way, I'm gonna have Chloe on here, and she's gonna have her side of the story too.
Yeah, it's all good. I would be happy to be here with her.
Yeah.
Like, I got no beef with this woman. So whatever. She ended up. She was very violent. She attacked all of my staff. She was very aggressive. She didn't get her way, and I was probably the only man that was Cuban and a hard ass. I was like, absolutely not, no. And then she's like, how dare you, right? I'm like, bro, I will go toe to toe with you any day, bro. So whatever. One day she just got mad and she grabbed Lewis's passport and threw it straight off a fucking cliff in France. And we see the passport open up and flutter down like a butterfly to the Mediterranean Sea. And Lewis is like, it's either her.
I was about to say, was she not next?
Me.
Was she following the passport?
So whatever. We tell her, you know what? We're done with you. You got to leave the house. This and this, blah blah blah. So when we leave for her to leave, we come home and our luggage has been urinated on.
Are you fucking kidding?
So
listen,
Chloe
how old was
I
she,
just
like
heard the story
5
secondhand.
at the time, or what?
Chloe Ture just squatted on my fucking.
Are you for
on our
real?
luggage and
Psycho.
hooked it up. Gave us a nice little golden shower.
Oh my
and sure we
god!
Don't forget. We all leave the country. Lewis has got to drive from Cannes to like fucking Paris to get his new passport so he could fly home. And Lewis literally says like, "Yo, either her or me, no more." So I had to cut the relationship with Chloe, and I'll admit this. Look, Paradise Challenge was a product of me and Chloe. Chloe gave me the idea.
Right.
Chloe's the one that teamed up with me, and
Right.
I give her all the credit.
The credit, yeah.
But it was either we cut her before it was ruining everything, or I kept her and it was just a very toxic relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is how Chloe is now. This is when we were fucking. This was 10 years ago, bro. Like
She's very different now.
I know.
You're right.
Yeah, it was just 10 years ago. She was a kid. I was a kid, but let's just try to be political.
I mean, I've seen Chloe do some crazy shit, but
Yeah,
I don't think she's like that.
I still got more stories about. I can have a whole podcast about the shit that
Well, I was at one of them when it was the champagne versus the champagne. We know when you talk about that.
Yeah,
that one time.
I felt set up on that one, bro. I was like, bro. I walked right into him like, hi.
Hit you in the face with the champagne. All right. So I did not know about the extortion in Bali. What happened there?
So we went to Bali and I did a 3-week program because I was dealing with a beautiful house on the rice paddies. So we thought that I could only hold 14 people because I had 7 bedrooms. So the 14 people that would come, I would rotate another 14 people after 7 days. So April 1st to the 7th, April 8th to the 14th, April 15th to the 21st. The first trip we go, and it's like Chloe, CJ, Holly, all of them, and they're all playmates, and they're all in the pool naked. And one of them had decided to take a scooter and go shoot in front of a statue. This specific statue was a very sacred temple for the dead.
Oh, okay.
And that raised the alarm where the government had been informed. Then the government started photographing us from a distance just to see what else we were doing, because there's a bunch of naked girls at our house and they think that it's like human trafficking, all these old guys with these pretty naked girls. What the fuck is this? Right? And then there was a girl named Cassandra Keys who was the direct apprentice of Holly Randall, which was a legend in adult photography. She was the lead photographer for Hustler, and then she started working for Playboy Plus and all that stuff. So in my eyes, this is someone that I've always wanted to meet. So Cassandra Keys shows up to the house offering Chloe to shoot for another men's magazine. And Chloe's like, I can't because I'm under contract with Playboy. And she was offended. And then I was like, you're Cassandra Keys? She goes, yeah. And I'm shooting an Australian girl from Australia. And Cassandra felt that she had claimed the territory of all Australia and Indonesia. I got the okay from Playboy Plus before I invited this woman. What was her name? Alana Wolf. So I invited Alana Wolf to come shoot with us, and Cassandra Keys called Playboy Plus to tell them that I'm promising girls Playboy Plus if they sign up to Paradise Challenge. It was the other way around. If you got accepted to Playboy Plus, you get to come to Paradise Challenge because I could just use the budget and the location of Paradise Challenge to give you your set. I give Cassandra Keys our whole schedule, where we're going on a daily basis, this and this. The next day, immigration shows up at our house, and they confiscate everyone's passports except mine. So everyone's got their passport confiscated, and it's Friday. So they're telling us we need to go to interviews on Monday, and everyone's supposed to fly out tomorrow. So now we can't fly out until we go to the interviews on Monday. And on Sunday, a whole new group of people are coming in. So now I got 24 people at the house, and I'm like trying to manage this shit, and we all have to go to this interview. So the interviews were like a cafeteria with tables, and we're all sitting on the side. And before we begin the interview, we did this for 4 days straight, all right? And it was the same process every day. They would turn on Happy Birthday to You. They would sing the whole fucking song, and then they come out and offer us all cake. We were all like, we don't want any cake. We just want to do the interview. Okay, no problem. Then they go back into the room, and they would play the whole song. Snoop Doggy Dogg. Every fucking day the same way. Then they would pick you, and then you sit there, and they put a bottle of tequila, and they would say, would you like a drink? You're like, no, I just want to get the interview going. Okay, cool, no drink. Would you like to have a drink with me after the interview? And you're like, what? So whatever. Immediately, once they noticed that we weren't falling for the bait, they were like, okay, who's in charge? How much are you getting paid? Are you a lesbian? Are any of the guys gay? Are you being forced to be with anyone? Who's sleeping in whose room? Who's the makeup artist? And then they started saying, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Wow. Pictures from a distance, you get me? They were showing us pictures from all around different angles. We answer all the questions, and we're not budging. They're not budging. They're not letting us out. So the lady that we were staying with, her husband knew what is equivalent to the head of FBI in Indonesia. So everyone's in the interview office, and this man comes in full uniform with all of his badges and shit, and he's got the loud shoes.
Yeah.
He walks in. He looks at all of us. Says 5 things to those people. Walks out. Doesn't say a word to us. Next thing, it's like, okay, guys, you're all free to go. We're going to give you your passports at the airport when you check out, when you're going to leave. The next day, the Jakarta Post puts on an article saying 15 Americans and Canadians have been arrested, detained, and deported for illegal photo shoots in Indonesia. Nobody was arrested, nobody was detained, and nobody was deported because we're all still here. Right? So everyone goes home. Everyone goes home. On the last week, I cancel all elephants, social medias, public excursions. Everything's just like, guys, we're dealing with a lot of heat. We're going to stay at the mansion. Everyone goes home, and now I'm getting hit left and right. This was Facebook was popping. I'm getting hit left and right saying that I ruined it for all the Australians and that I messed the whole industry up for photographers and models. And I'm looking at it like, why won't you just accept the fact that it happened to me and not you? Now we know better. Like, we know what not to do. So they thought I was in jail. So I sit in the hammock, And I grabbed the hammock and I split it open and I put the camera in front. I was like, yo, Bali jail sucks. And there's palm trees in the background. I'm like, come on, guys, I'm not in jail. Nobody got arrested, whatever, this and this. For 2 years, that shit gave me a lot of backlash and I had to deal with a lot of bullshit.
I remember that. So this is, I'd never heard this side of the story. I had heard a Bali story from people who were critical of you. But I was like, man, that doesn't sound right. Like,
so I stayed behind and I was the last person to leave.
Yeah.
And I always have a beard. I shaved my beard and I bought 3 Balinese umbrellas, the 3-tier umbrellas.
Yeah.
I just trying to look like a normal tourist. So I'm walking through the airport with these giant umbrellas, a shaved face. I go through all of immigration. The second I got on that plane, I start writing my my statement about what really happened. And I still have it. You could Google it on my Facebook. I printed it out.
Isn't it great that we can do that shit? Like if somebody made up some lies about me, by the way, that's one of the reasons I started this podcast is because some people were saying some shit about me that wasn't true. And I was like, that's never going to happen. We have the ability to do long form content. You remember that thing with, you remember with Joe Rogan when he had said the N-word in a bunch of different clips and he did so. And then all these black comedians came out and said, no, that he was quoting, Paul Looney. That's what he was doing. It's totally what he was doing. He was just, this is historical stuff he was doing. If you take him in full context, it's not that bad. And so this is the same kind of situation. Back then, you know, the media doesn't have the ability to just say stuff about us anymore. They have ability to fight back.
Yeah. So it put me in a position where it's like the press was saying these certain things and I'm like, I have legitimate visual and audio proof that they're lying, but because I don't have such a large voice as the Jakarta Post versus my little Facebook, all I could do is just defend myself within my community.
Right.
Have you been back to Bali since?
No, we haven't. So the reason I haven't gone back is because I don't know. They never interviewed me.
Okay.
They never met me, and I had my photography name Joel London and Joel Alvarez. So they go, who is Joel London? Yeah. And then there's Joel Alvarez. Okay, who is Joel Alvarez? Bro, they put Chloe Torre as a lighting technician.
Lighting technician.
There's nothing technical about this woman. You know, it's just like, there's no way that she could be a lighting technician. You know, it's just like, it put us, I knew they were just running their mouths. They took a picture of all of the passports and they were making us look like we were criminals. At the same time this was happening, the Bali 9 were being investigated for execution because they were going to be executed for entering smuggling drugs. And one of the girls that had entered with the Bali 9, the original 9 people, was a 16-year-old Filipino girl. So when you enter the Bali, there's a fucking sign that says, you will be executed by firing squad for smuggling drugs into this country.
Yeah.
So those guys...
Does that sound fun?
Those guys have been executed.
Yeah.
Not the 9, the original 2, the leaders. The rest were... I saw a 14-year-old boy do 4 years in jail for having a joint with him, and his parents couldn't do shit. So I'm speaking to the consulate, the embassy, diplomats, all of our parents, just trying to make sure that we get out of the country. Once I got everyone out, I stayed behind just to make sure. And people were saying that I was a coward and that I didn't do anything and that I didn't try. I'm like, dude, I waited till you all went home, bro. I'm trying to make sure everybody was good. But nothing was as scary as the missile threat in Hawaii.
What was that?
Missile threat.
Oh, I do remember this. Okay, so it was it North Korea? What country?
North
Korea and Trump. And
somebody. There was a thing online where I didn't realize you were in Hawaii when this happened, but there was this thing online where there supposedly it was a missile launched from, was it North Korea or China?
It was North Korea.
North Korea was supposedly launching an ICBM. A couple problems with that. Number one, North Korea does not have the functional capability of launching an ICBM. Number two, well, that's actually number one. That's the only thing, right? Like, if you believe that North Korea can get a missile into orbit,
it's the last day of Paradise Challenge. We're packing up to go home. We wake up. We're gonna wake up at 12 so we can take our flight at 4. No heat. At 8:04 in the morning, all the phones in the house go ballistic. And I'll never forget these words: ballistic missile inbound to the Hawaii Islands, seeking immediate shelter. This is not a drill. So I call the homegirl that I was staying with, us, had military friends at Pearl Harbor. We contact Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor's like, you have 15 to 20 minutes.
Stop it.
So all of us are in the house and everyone starts calling their families. So I call my mom. She calls her mom. There's girls in the bathroom crying because they have kids. CJ Franco, we're trying to wake her up to tell her she doesn't give a fuck. She's still sleeping through the whole thing.
That is the greatest story. Next time I see CJ Franco, did you know that an ICBM was coming to nuke you and you stayed asleep the whole time?
She woke up. She's like, I told you. Like, she just didn't give a shit. So whatever. Steven George France, remember Steven?
Yeah, of course.
All right. And then Ross Gandy, his boy. So Ross is like, well, if we're all gonna die, should we just like start getting naked and fucking? I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? How am I supposed to convince these girls?
That actually sounds incredibly rational.
I think that's probably the most rational guy in the room.
How am I supposed to convince these? these 14 women that are terrified. Now, the house is 4 bedrooms made out of glass. C.B. Woodhouse. Remember him?
No.
The billionaire from New Zealand?
Yes, I do remember seeing.
Right,
I didn't know he's a billionaire. Okay, I remember.
cool.
Yeah.
So he's telling us, we're all kind of like just trying to figure this shit out right now. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
We're too high on the mountain to go to the bottom of the mountain because it was a bowl, and we turn on the news and we see families putting their kids in the sewer trying to find bunkers and shelters. It was either go to the top of the mountain, but we didn't know if the bomb was gonna hit on that side or this side. So
You don't know where to go. Like, where are you gonna go?
It wouldn't matter.
The house is made out of glass. It's a massive fish tank,
my
right?
God.
So CB's grabbing all of the mattresses because the boys all slept in the main hall while all the girls had the bedrooms, right? So he's throwing the mattresses behind the bar, and he goes, "Well, you guys are all blaming Donald Trump. I'm building a bunker."
Blaming Donald Trump.
And I go to him, "No, I go to CB. I go to CB. As smart as you are, my brother, we're all gonna die instantly. You are building a microwave. You're gonna burn nice and slow, bro, because there's nothing that's gonna save you if you think these mattresses are gonna save you behind the bar in a fish tank like this, whatever." 48 minutes later, we all get a text message that says, "False alarm. This is not a threat. This and this." So and then I'm like, wait a minute. It takes me a 2-factor authentication. If I'm susceptible to any diseases and what color underwear I have to delete a fucking photo on Instagram, on Facebook, but somebody could just accidentally send this text to everyone in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So this had to be some type of a test. This couldn't just be an accident. Oh, we fired the person that didn't know, bro. Like, that's one of those, you turn the key, I turn the key at the same time to be able to try to send some shit like that, right? So, yeah, I'll never forget it. I called my mom. I was like, "Mom, so there's a missile.
About to get bombed.
There's a missile coming, and I don't think I'm going to see you again. I want to tell you that I love you." And then she's like, whoa, Joel. Shut up. Everybody in the house is depending on you. You need to be a man. I'm like, all right, Mom. I love you. And I'm like, now I'm like trying to be a man, and girls are crying. Girls in the bathroom won't come out. CJ's sleeping, doesn't give a fuck. The other guys are wrestling, trying to see who's down to play. I'm just looking at him like, where am I going to stand when this happens?
I mean, listen, I can think of way worse ways to die than on a mountain in Hawaii from thermonuclear radiation. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's quick.
It's not going to take a long time.
Right?
No, it's taking a long
Do you know
time.
how fast the shockwave goes? It's about the speed of light. Yeah. It's going, and it's about a 30-mile radius. It's severe radiation.
Out of all the scary shit I've gone through, I was most scared at the moment that I was in least danger. I was never in danger. There was no bomb. There was no threat. This was just a fucking text message that shit.
I meant to look that up because I know something happened. So the U.S. has an Aegis missile defense system, which is basically satellites, cruisers, and then there's also some radar things that are able to detect when there's a launch like that. But I always remember there was something. It was like one operator, single point of failure that caused that whole thing to happen.
Exactly.
I remember that was the official story.
And it wasn't technically an IBM. It could have been
ICBM.
an ICBM. It could have just been any other ballistic.
So the problem is from North Korea to Hawaii, you have to reach orbit.
Yeah, you got to reach orbit, and it's got to be satellite
not orbit.
control.
You have to exceed the atmosphere.
Yeah, you have to come out of the atmosphere so I can tell it where to land.
Yeah.
So what I'm really understanding is if anybody goes on a trip with you or you're in the same area,
it's 50-50.
like you might have to go through like military training first.
Yeah,
that'd probably be the smartest option.
I've never experienced any of these
Pomeranian for
problems.
emotional support.
I've never experienced any of these problems.
That's it for me.
So look, I've done.
Pomeranian for emotional support. I wonder who that could be.
I have over 100 trips under my belt. I have relationships with governments. I have relationships with ministries of health. I could get anybody their COVID cards. I could get vaccine cards.
Let's not say that out loud. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm glad I know that. I'm glad I know that information.
I am not aware what that means.
So remember with Jamaica 2020, COVID's heavy. Nobody's getting their release forms from the country. So I'm on the phone with the Jamaican government. Bro, we were pumping them out every 10 seconds.
In Jamaica, do you remember? So I'm on the microphone. We did the lingerie contest. It goes, I was like, "This is 2019. None of this is real."
Yes.
I was on the microphone and I was like, "Everyone's wearing a mask here. Everyone is vaccinated. It's 2019. This is not real footage."
2020, Coachella closed. off.
Coachella, yeah.
EDC was closed.
Yeah.
Ultra was closed. Vegas was closed. Miami was closed. Everything was closed. So the only thing happening was Paradise Challenge.
Well, that was a lit
God.
Paradise Challenge, too.
Hey, we destroyed this place. I
You
mean,
know
the
what's
hotel
weird
was
is
like...
I actually think I heard about that because I was living in Houston at the time, and I mean nothing really was going on in Houston. Like nobody
was a
actually
talk
gave
of
a
the
fuck
country.
about it. But we were like closed off in Houston. Like you couldn't leave Houston.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
couldn't come into Houston, but you were in Houston. Like,
Ibiza was
nothing
like...
happened.
Ibiza had like quarantined sections
like,
with
yeah.
tanks.
Oh,
You couldn't get
hell no.
out of
We didn't
your
have-
little...
we didn't have
You couldn't
nothing
get out
like
of your
that,
block.
no.
So
We didn't even have to wear, like, masks, like,
whoever
nobody
could get
cared.
to Jamaica had the best time of their life because we've been
fun.
we've been locked in
great.
since January.
Yeah.
This is September, so 9 months. Corey, me, you, T-Ro. So whatever. We grab one of the bedrooms. We take the bed out of the bedroom, and then we turn the TV stand into like a section as a VIP.
We had a little nightclub.
The DJ's behind it. We put the AC on him, and I mean, like it was 150 people standing.
It
room
was
only
so
in a
sweaty
room,
in there.
in a room like this.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, somebody will walk in, and the beat was boom, 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 and I was like, we were like, close the door. Close the door. And everybody would scream,
Close the door because the AC worked inside.
The
but
AC would leave.
Yeah, it was so hot
Then
out
somebody would use the bathroom, kill the lights, because they turn on the lights, kill the lights. And people, it was the best night of my life in all Paradise Challenges. And it was through a pandemic. The unity was amazing. The people were all in the same vibe. They were just so happy to be out of the house. And that's when I started realizing that these type of events are so beneficial for the human body and the human spirit, especially when you're like being controlled by people that have no clue what's really going on. So once we started traveling and being able to go to Jamaica, and we celebrated our asses off just to be out of the house. It wasn't even about Jamaica that year. It wasn't about the games, the challenge. It was just like we were happy to not be home.
That was also, I think, the wildest OF year.
That was the year things started taking off.
Yeah, taking off an OF because I remember Amanda Nicole was there, and it was like, bro, there was no holes barred. I think because I remember previously, because the first one I was at was 2016, because I've been to altogether all of them. I think that's the 12th one I was at was the last one. There was
because he was asking me, how do I know Michael? I was like, he's been hosting Paradise Challenges since the beginning.
Yeah. So there was, I remember that one, and I remember because OnlyFans was really taking off, and if you were a creator, a lot of girls who weren't even like that popular were making so much money as creators on there. And
Amanda Nicole was just taking it to that next level. We're all like, this is not.
she has 2 dudes with her the whole time, and it's just like the inference of a gangbang was always there the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was. I just remember things. Oh no, I remember what I was going to say. I remember when Paradise Challenge was just photographs with a little bit of BTS on our shitty phones that we had back in the day. Our our iPhone 8s or iPhone whatevers. I guess the first time I would have been iPhone 8, iPhone 9. Now when we go back and we look, like people are shooting 60 frames a second at 4K, and it's OF
Everyone's
stuff.
got a Sony R7.
Yeah, Sony R7. But no, some people are like shooting OF porn in the hotel rooms with the fucking mirror on the roof.
Yeah.
And that year was more of it than I've ever seen. Because I remember for weeks afterwards, girls were like posting shit.
We
from there.
don't promote it. We don't condone it. But
You do whatever you want in your hotel room.
Whatever you do in your hotel room, I have no
doing,
control.
yeah.
But they couldn't just start doing that on the public because we're like, wait a minute, like this is not what we are or what we represent. But we noticed that the models were buying more packages than the guys because now they all had money.
Yeah.
All of them had money. And I would have to sponsor 40, 50 girls. I sponsor 5 girls now. Like everyone just
because they had money
winners.
because OF just changed that whole dynamic. But now it's so much more video, or as much video as it is
So
photos.
remember,
now.
Ari showed up as a photographer. Once Ari started noticing that the video was dominating, we would go and hang out with orangutan. We see orangutans not even pumping out photos, just all videos. Then you notice that Joey Wright wasn't technically involving himself so much because the photos weren't so in high demand. There was more of the videos. So it was like the videos started becoming, that the videos are the powerful
I know.
one.
I'm posting all of the time videos.
I post a picture on Instagram. No one gives a fuck. I do a reel. It's the only reason they're giving me the engagement is because they're competing with TikTok.
So last month I had 1 million accounts reached on my account, and it was 938,000 were from reels, and the rest of it was from stories and regular posts. And this was crazy. So I only had 55,000 likes, which is not a ton because I only have 100,000 followers.
That's still 50%.
Yeah, but here's the
That's
crazy
extreme.
part. But here's the thing. It wasn't just that it was 55,000 likes. I had 33,000 shares. I showed that to Dan Fleischman. He's like, that's not fucking possible.
Yeah.
For you to have that few likes and that many shares was so crazy. But part of it was because Instagram is so
I got some posts that did 150,000 shares.
intimidated. Instagram is so intimidated by TikTok that they started really like it was
Pushing
like
the reels.
TikTok, like Instagram went back to their organic phase if you would just post reels. And so that's the strategy that we had. And just to go back to what you said before, for me, like you were saying, one thing led to another. For me, it was, Babes in Toyland would lead to my bikini competition, which would go to Paradise Challenge, which I also do Swimsuit USA, but they don't really, the same girls don't really do.
I knew you were meeting girls at Paradise Challenge and you were inviting them to the competitions, and then they were getting in with Babes in Toyland. So when Steve came to Miami, he goes, he also agrees, you got the strongest funnel of women we've ever seen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I'm like, when are we going to collab, bro? We've known each other for so many fucking years. So now we're planning to do Black Tape Project Babes in Toyland in October.
That's such a great idea.
Miami,
Also for the
LA Fashion Week is the same date as Babes in Toyland
so
in
it's
October.
October 15th, and it's going to be for breast cancer awareness.
Yes,
That's the one
and
we're
I
going to do.
and I have baby powder pink for breast cancer that I had done a couple years ago with this pink. She actually wore that pink for the fashion week in Miami Swim Week.
I'm curious. I want to go back a couple steps here. You're in Poland. In Sweden, they keep everything open during the pandemic. Okay.
I mean, you said like Sweden?
In Sweden,
He's
they
asking
did.
you in
Okay.
Sweden they opened it. Did
Okay.
they keep it
In
the same
Sweden,
Poland?
what was it like during the pandemic? So you understand, like in the United States, Florida basically didn't follow the rules.
Florida didn't give a fuck.
They didn't give a shit, right? In Las Vegas, we didn't really follow the rules, but we did shut down the casinos. In Europe, Sweden decided no lockdowns, right? They didn't have a mask mandate. They had no
They set
vaccine
the
mandate.
example that it didn't make a difference.
Did you? What was it like in Poland during that time?
In Poland, everything was closed.
Okay.
Then one of the places in Europe was open. It was a Tenerife that I was flying out from Poland, and actually like till
Tenerife
the end,
is the Canary Islands off the coast of Spain and Spain.
Till
Africa.
the end of the COVID, nothing was moving. Like everyone was closed. It was like a pandemic. Everyone was like terrified about that, and the government didn't open nothing. So it was one of the, I think it was a close so much. Like sorry.
So
Is that where you went? You went to the Canary Islands?
Yes,
so
I
she moved to the Canary Islands?
Yes.
I saw a lot of people do that.
Everything was open, and people were asking me, "Where are you, Olivia?" Like, how is it possible? And I
all
was
her
like
pictures
on
are
the
her on a
party
fucking
somewhere.
beach on a boat and shit while everyone's freezing their ass off there.
Well, let me tell you, here during that period, other than going to your thing, we couldn't do anything. So we started throwing the sickest mansion parties of all time. I mean, I think the statute of limitations is over, but that 750 Dragon Ridge.
That's when Wish was popping off.
Yeah, the Wish
and
mansion. So 750 Dragon Ridge, we were throwing parties. So Bulgarian did not have 3830. I'm sorry, what was it called?
He didn't have the Beverly House.
Yeah, he did not have the house in Beverly Hills because once he saw that the state of California wasn't going to let him throw in parties, he got rid of that house, 10979 Shalon Road in Bel Air. So Wish took it over, and we started throwing.
It's like a $55 million house.
Yeah, so it's 90. That he got an offer for 90. So we started throwing parties at Bulgarian's old house, but Wish took it over. Then at the Wish Mansion here at 750 Dragon Ridge. Then we started throwing parties at Michael Evers' house. I gave you Michael Evers' info. We were the sickest mansion parties of all time because no one could go to a club.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. My birthday party was at Michael Evers' house. I'm not lying. I have video footage. It was me and 54 girls that showed up for a photo shoot for my
Story of
birthday
my
party.
life.
And then right afterwards, we just had my birthday party there, and all the photographers stayed. And it was so much more fun than going to a club. But the thing is, we had no competition. And it reminded me of Vegas 10 or 11 years ago when there was only...
Before the pool party started.
Yeah, but just the pool parties. It's like there's 5 places to go on a Thursday now. Back then, you only went to Hayes. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
You only went to Surrender on Wednesday. You only went to Pure on Tuesday. We knew Marquee Monday. That was the only place you went, and you went to Excess on Sunday. So when you went out those days, everyone from the industry would go to one place. And during COVID, it got to be like that again because everybody knew, hey, it's a party at Michael Evers' house, so we were all going to go there.
Don't get me wrong, Miami shut down, but it wasn't like enforced to the level where we had to suffer.
I remember wearing a mask when I was out there.
But for like a good amount of time, the only thing open was the butchers and the gun stores. So I bought a lot of steaks, and I got really good at making Wagyu 5A grades and shit. And then I have enough guns in my house to hold down the block for a month. I mean, I got rifles, I got AR-15s, I got semi-tac shotguns, I got pistols. I have enough bullets to...
You just happen to live near Mike Tang, right? You just like you guys.
Mike moved to Kendall, and I live right on the border of Kendall. It's called Westchester, Olympia Heights. Yeah. So
Okay.
Mike and me basically live in the same town.
Yeah, I visited.
Our houses are very similar.
I visited Mike's house recently. She did a shoot with him. But yeah, that house is very creative. I mean, it's a very
It's
clearly
cool.
a house to do photo shoots.
So my
in.
house is very similar, but my house was inspired by Richard Franklin, which is 2189 Sunset Plaza Drive, which is a very famous house. Has 8 floors, movie theater, nightclub, casino. It's a sick, amazing house. So my house, like for example, imagine all of these cameras that are hanging off the ceiling, but they were lamps. A lot of people never use the ceiling space. It's just empty. So my house has a lot of like hanging
That's
things.
cool.
And
Yeah.
I'll pull up a picture so you can see what I'm talking about.
One last one. You was an issue in Puerto Vallarta with your passport. What happened with that?
Oh yeah, so we do Puerto Vallarta. I don't.
By the way, I'm asking these questions because the majority of the viewers a lot of viewers are going to be my clients, and they all like to throw events. And I keep telling them, you don't want to throw events. What you want to do is let the event thrower throw the event, and you want to recruit people for the event. Because when you have to deal with this, it is exponentially more difficult to deal with all this stuff. Look at the house. You see the house right there? That almost looks like Caesar's Palace up there at the top. That's
really
except
cool.
it's blue. But yeah, I mean that's one thing I tell people. It is throwing an
If
event.
you're throwing a party, you got to run logistics operations,
Yes.
deal with the mess, deal with the cleanup, make sure there's alcohol, make sure there's food, make sure there's drinks, accommodations, reservations. I mean, like, bro, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, like I said,
It's not worth it.
Like, you-
Pussy, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like,
you said something, and I think I said this to Steve Fowler. He totally agrees. It is easier for me to get 70 or 80 girls to come to a party than it is for me to get 10. I don't know how to get 10 girls to go to a party. If I get 10 girls to go to a party, I'm doing you a favor. If I get 70 girls to go to a party, you did me a favor. Because that means your party was awesome. So it's easy for me to get 70 or 80 girls to go to a
You've never
bachelor
had
party.
trouble getting people to come to my events because they're just dope.
Yeah,
dope
because they want to. I mean, unless money is an issue, which a lot of the OF kind of solved that. Because before it was a lot of girls who were exotic dancers or had sugar daddies or whatever, or were escorting. You know, some of those girls would come, but before like that, and now it's like girls, just normal girls who are housewives. You know, some of the girls, military families, they come out there, wiped as OF.
I think two of the Queen of Paradises came with their parents.
Yes.
And they won with their parents by
That's
their
Was
cool.
side.
Nikki Hill? Did she have her parents?
No, Nikki Hill. No, it was Stephanie
Okay.
and Brandy Davis.
Okay,
with
got
her
it.
father, and Stephanie was with her mom.
Yeah, Brandy did our bikini competition last year. Yeah, that's right. Brandy came with her mom for the bikini competition too.
They're like a nice little wholesome family, but
That's cute.
they support her
Yeah.
modeling career. But listen, Paradise Challenge Black Tape Project was always dope, but what really put me on a power position was when I started doing swim week and fashion weeks.
Yes.
Because what happened is that
I went to one in LA.
the fashion weeks, all fashion weeks are catered to fashion models. And I don't necessarily work with fashion models. I work with glamour models.
Yeah.
Now, I'm the only designer that's disrupting the industry by bringing girls that you would never, ever expect to walk a fashion week.
Can you describe the difference? Because for me, I prefer that look better, which is an athletic look. Sometimes have fake boobs.
New York Fashion Week in February of February this last year, I had a girl covered in tattoos with dreadlocks, and that you've never seen that in a fashion show.
Are you talking about Ellie Rain Thomas?
No, a white girl from
Because you taped Ellie. You taped Ellie Rain.
Ellie
Rain.
Ellie Doll.
Ellie Doll.
Yeah, so I taped her in
I just said a real name. My bad, Ellie. I'm sorry. I just doxed her, but that's a real
so
name.
I taped her in Miami Swim Week, and
she's from here. She used to live here.
Yeah, I know. Communicate with her. I taped her on stage, and she goes, "Why me?" I'm like, "Because no one would ever put you in a show. Like I want to put you in a show just to set the new example."
Yeah. I mean, she
did like a tear fall a little bit. After
So
you
many
said that?
girls with tattoos. I didn't know you worked with girls with tattoos. I'm like, why didn't you think so? Just
But she's also curvy, which is also you see 5'11" and skinny.
So I taped 5 girls live.
Yeah.
All natural girls, tall girls, enhanced girls, tattooed girls, and I taped one of them blindfolded. I blindfolded myself in Miami Swim Week, and I hit the record of 100 models in tape. No one has ever seen an army of models like
That's cool.
in a fashion show like that. And they were all taped, so it took me 10 to 12 hours. You could ask her; she was there. I didn't use the bathroom. I didn't get up. I didn't move. All I did was just tape,
Crazy.
tape, and then I had to go perform. You know Ya Shoes?
Of
So
course.
Ya was there with us, and he's like, bro, the level of dedication that I had seen you do was like crazy. So now Ya is gonna start working with us.
Ya was MOA before there was an MOA. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a man of action.
Okay.
Yeah. So y'all hanging out with me is like now giving him the experience that he's been waiting for a while. Now I'll put a casting New York Fashion Week. Within the hour, I have more than 1,000 DMs. I cannot go through that many.
Yeah.
Imagine by the end of the day.
Right.
And if I keep the post up for a week, it's hundreds of thousands of models from all around the world asking me, can I walk for you? Can I walk for you? So I had to make a post the other day. I was like, listen, guys, if you think you're just going to come and show up and walk for me, like, you got this fucked up, because there's levels to this shit. I'm always going to prioritize the girls that I have relationships with. I'm going to prioritize the girls that have booked me. I'm going to prioritize the girls that have been back in the post and collab.
Yeah.
I don't know you. You think I'm just going to put you on the map when you haven't done shit for me? You don't even follow. I'm obsessed with your work. You don't even follow me. And then the ones I haven't spoken to in a year, it's like, oh my God, Joel, I missed you. Get the fuck out of here. You don't miss shit. You just want to get in the show. You get me? So it's like, I know you don't miss shit, bro.
I've had a crush on you for the longest time. Girl, you wouldn't have pissed on me if I was on fire. Unless I was luggage. You wouldn't have pissed on me.
Unless I was luggage.
Wow, that's heavy.
All right, so here we go. The thing I thought was interesting. So I was asked a lot of my guests this. So the majority of your revenue right now is coming from the sales of tape? Is that right now, or has it changed?
So the tape sales have increased about 20% every year, and I've been selling for 5 years. So yeah, the majority of my what's it called? Residual income.
Okay.
That I don't really have to work on. I don't see the tape. I don't work the tape. I don't touch the tape. I don't even manufacture.
But you have a patent. You manufactured your own.
I manufacture my own tape with my own adhesive, and we have our own waterproof, medical grade, non-toxic, non-residue tape. So I have competitors or people that are tape artists that don't use my tape, and they're using chemically enhanced tape that are possibly toxic, but they look similar to mine.
Okay, so that was my next question, is that you do teach camps.
I stopped.
Oh, you stopped?
Yeah, because I recently stopped teaching because of the fact that I have a current competitor telling everyone that he was my apprentice when he only took a 6-hour class in 2019. So he tells everyone that he's me, or that he's my partner, or that he's my best friend, or that he's officially a Black Tape project, and the girls were engaging with him. And then I would get a text message that was like, hey, I went to your house and we were supposed to do Black Tape and we fucked and you never shot me. It's like, when are we? I'm like, who are you? She goes, yeah, I'm this person. I'm like, I don't know you. And she goes, you don't remember me? And I would send them a picture. Is this who you're talking? No, that's not who you are. I'm like, I'm the Black Tape guy. Whoever the fuck told you was the Black Tape guy is lying. She goes, oh my God, the guy was a fat old guy. I'm like, yeah, that's not me. So I got this dude, he can suck my dick. His name is Andres Tamate, and he runs the Miami Art Body Tape, and he's been doing Black Tape and telling everyone that he's part of my organization and whatever. So I had to like make tons of posts, and then the community starts to attack me because they're like, oh, if you didn't want competitors, then why'd you teach? I'm like, I never taught him for him to say that he's me. I taught him for him to go and do his own shit.
Yeah.
So that became the problem. Then I started hearing that girls were saying, oh, one of the students that said he learned from you, he was inappropriate with me. And I was like, you know what, bro, I don't want to be the cause of this. So I just stopped teaching. So now I have a $10,000 apprentice program. You got to pay 10 grand and you stay with me for 1 year. And then if you want to rock the name, you got to stay with me for 5 years. If I can't stand you and you can't stand me, within those 5 years, we already know where this is going.
Right.
For sure.
You get me? But now you get access to all my fashion shows, all of my trips, all of my parties, all of my events, and you get to be on the deep end of what we're doing. It would cost you $10,000 just to be at the backstage of Miami Swim Week. You get me? So if you're doing it this way, you're gonna learn and you get your hands you get your hands dirty in real live action, right? Like we're actually taping, you feel the pressure. So I currently have 2 or 3 students that I teach, and those are just the only apprentices I have. I do not have students. I do not teach. I have an apprentice, almost like the Sith, 1 or 2. That's it. Besides that, I didn't invent this product with the intentions of becoming anything. I called it the Black Tape Project because I had no idea it was going to become anything. Yeah. Once it blew up, then I started realizing I'm sitting on a gold mine, from products to tape sales to performances to taping cars to taping murals to my fine prints to my performances, my shows. I charge $1,000 to tape a girl, so it's like, it's very monetizable. But I was traveling by myself all the time, so I created Paradise Challenge to be able to get people to come. Paradise Challenge is not only the reason people come, but it's also a funnel for more models in my event. Yeah. So the Paradise Challenge and the Black Tape Project work very well together, but they don't need each other in any way. They could basically function either way. So I took Paradise Challenge and I removed the Black Tape, and then I remember I think her name was Amy from Tropic Beauty. Yeah. Put it in her contract that if you get selected to be the winner of Tropic Beauty, you cannot be associated with Paradise Challenge or Black Tape Project. It was on the contract.
Yeah, and they like Swimsuit USA doesn't do that because there's a few girls. There's like 4 girls that did both. But I remember when Amy really did that, And it's different because
So I removed the black tape so I could start working with girls that were pageant girls, because those are the girls that I wanted to win the competitions.
Yeah.
You know Kim Hennessy, who was running that. She works here now.
Yeah,
she lives in Vegas.
So
She doesn't do any of that
it was Kim,
anymore.
Amy, and Kathy. So Kathy went
Swimsuit USA.
Amy kind of like ran Tropic Beauty into the ground, and then I'll tell it to your face. And then Kim was kind of like in limbo, just trying to do her thing with the Canada and going back and forth. So Kim introduced me to Olivia Squires, which is now our social media officer, and we have a great relationship. But the competition was so crazy because we were never a pageant. We were a networking event of content, and Tropic Beauty was no way. So I removed black tape to get in their good graces. And then black tape went viral in 2017 with the gold tape on Genesis
I remember that.
Haiti. We got 10 million views on Facebook, and that's a lot on Facebook.
Yeah.
In 2017, that's
2017.
a ton.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, my emails are going bananas, my DMs are going bananas, Fashion Week here, Swim Week there. I'm like, yes. And now I'm in a position where it's like, listen, bro, I did not get any of this shit handed to me.
Yeah.
I earned every fucking bit of it. That's why over my dead body, am I going to let some motherfucker just ruin my name and say that he's me? I'm like, bro, you don't even have the scars to say you were me. You get me? So it's like, I've gone through mine. And you see me heartbroken. You see me happy. You see me do well. You see me do bad.
I've talked you off many cliffs.
You see me fucking ready to destroy people. And you're like, don't kill him. It's like, I will kill him.
Yes,
like,
I've been there. Yeah.
Yep.
The funny thing is, with that, I've had a similar issue where, we'll have a charity event or something like that, and someone will take my free content. They'll come on my free calls and they'll be like, okay, here's a blueprint. We're going to do what Michael Sartain does as far as his charity events, whatever. And it's never for the right reason. It's like for anybody who here is watching this, if you do an event like this for anything other than the girls to get content, you're only going to do it once, and then the girls are going to talk shit about you. Because if you do this because you think this is lead gen for you to find women to have sex with, it will destroy
I'll throw
you.
myself under the bus now. 99.9% of male photographers have a camera specifically to funnel women. It's not because they want to be the next fucking Gucci headlining photographer. It's too hard. The competition's too heavy. Yeah. There's not enough jobs for as many cameras as there are. So if I'm a guy that has no game and I have a dad bod and I have no chance of ever getting with a girl like you, but my content will give you the opportunity, will give you the interest to maybe even give me the time of day.
Yep.
Cool. Every single girl I know has had a bad experience at least once with a photographer. It's just, right? Cool. So imagine the screening process that I got to go through Paradise Challenge. Imagine when I have my orientation, I have a nice public, politically correct orientation with everyone. Then I kick everyone out, and I have an orientation with the guys. I'm like, listen, if you're here for this, I will break your fucking neck in the middle of this island. Like I don't know. I'm just not having that shit. I've always been very protective of them, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna be like that guy. They're gonna be like, it happened at Paradise Challenge. Yep. It happened at Joel's event. You get me? So it's like, I'd rather the dudes fear me than like me. Yeah. And I'm not going around kicking people's ass and shit, but they could tell that I'm not some punk white collar corporate 500 owner. Like, I'll smack the shit out of you 100%.
Yeah. Right. So that's the thing. When you go back to because you sent me screenshots of girls complaining about this imposter for black tape. Yeah. And that's where things get serious, because there's two issues here. The girl safety, which is the most important thing. I don't care what anybody says. My job is not to save.
You know how many screenshots I have? I thought it was you.
Yeah.
What?
You see what that does to you, right? That's really bad. So it's not your job to save your female friends. It's your job to protect them, though. Yeah. Your job to protect them, but you can't save them. Some of them are going to go off and make stupid decisions. Yeah. You have a girl come to some shoot.
But don't set yourself up and don't set them up for failure. So you gotta kind of put the parameters there. Make sure you got the little gutter balls so they know where to land.
My favorite statement at orientation, you know what it is? He goes, ladies, if you don't want nude photos out there, don't shoot nude. Don't shoot nude.
All the girls are like, oh, my nude pictures are on Google. I'm like, then why'd you shoot?
Why'd you do that?
So I tell them, if you don't want your pictures of naked you anywhere, don't shoot nude. And the girls are like,
okay.
I think I understand. I'm like, bitch, just don't fucking shoot nude, bro. It's that simple. And then they'll shoot nude, and then the guy will give them one picture or not respond to them, and then they're like, and I literally had to put it on the Paradise Challenge, like, I am not responsible for your content. I'm the facilitator. I make sure that your hotel room is available, you have a clean bed, you have air conditioning, hot water, and that you have the program.
Yeah.
But I didn't take your pictures.
Yeah.
And if he takes your pictures, those are his pictures, not
Yeah.
your pictures. So you got to build a nice relationship with
Yeah.
him to get your pictures. And I tell the girls, so you haven't gotten your pictures yet? No, I've called them 16 times. I'm like, the Paradise Challenge ended 2 days ago, bro.
Yeah, like
This guy has a life. He has kids. He has to go back to work. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? It's just gonna,
Like, all the
Did you
girls
offer him
too,
maybe
like-
$100 to act? Oh, that's a good idea. I was like, tip the motherfucker. You'll see
Yeah,
how nice he
right.
starts to
Yeah,
treat
so you say
because when you go home to suck your boy's dick, he's sitting there stuck on your face editing for the next 2 weeks, and then he's got to do that for another 100 girls. You guys think that us photographers are just like snapping them out. So when I shoot you, I don't edit. I'm like, just take it.
when he
edit it
usually
yourself.
gets paid to do it.
it's
anyway,
so great that you do
Yeah.
that, because I started telling, because I have some photographers who just
all these
think
egotistical,
Yes.
has to look
That's
my way.
exactly
No, bro. Egos causes stress.
Yeah.
Give them everything and you have peace.
Yeah, it's so funny because what you just said is anathema to what most photographers do. They will never give out unedited
I need to
photos.
edit it because it needs
It's
to
so
be to
dumb.
my standards.
Just
Like,
give
bro.
it to the girl. Let them do face app, Facetune, whatever.
I saw you edit it for 4 hours and it still looks like shit. Bro.
Yeah,
Like, get the
it's
fuck out of here.
that's one thing. It's so crazy. So I know some like one of my guys, Casey Herzog, who's been to Paradise Challenge. He'll
I
just
think he's coming up with
yeah. He just gives the girls their raws, and they come out great. Girls are not going to post bad shots of themselves.
yeah.
I know a lot of photographers hate this idea. And by the way, if you're Bad Dog or Bagley or if you're LHGFX or one of those guys, I don't blame you. You probably shouldn't give out raws. But for the rest of you guys, like the girls, you say every girl gets 2 edits, and then afterwards you should probably charge like $25 or $100 a photo.
So this is what I tell the girls. Let's just say that me and you shot. I'll take 100 pictures of you. I'll edit 10.
Yeah.
You will post 1.
Yeah, it is like that.
You're gonna
like,
post 1.
It is
Right?
Yeah.
So if you come to Paradise Challenge and you shoot with 40 photographers,
Yeah.
and then that photographer shoots 100 models,
Yeah.
and he's got to edit 2 per model. That's 200 right off the bat.
Yeah.
Now, when I tell you, okay, get your 2 edits, anything else after that, let the photographer charge because it's his time. It's like it's no longer we're at the event. Now we're cutting into his daily hours
Right.
outside of the event while you are sitting there eating your drinking
Right.
your mimosas,
Not
taking
doing-
pictures. That pretty little thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it becomes an issue. So when I tell them, okay, cool. So after I edit your 10 photos, you only post 1. It's like I've never seen anyone post more than 3 at most. And when
Right.
you do post them, you scatter them out.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I tell girls, oh, let's work TFP, for what? I work for 2.5 hours and I edit for another 2.5 hours for you to make 1 fucking post? Suck a dick. So
Yeah.
I would just pay me, take all the pictures. Now you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Now, when I edit on my own, I'll edit a year from now because you're not on my case. You already got your shit. And then when I
Yeah.
edit it a year from now, I'll post it, and then you're like, damn, this is really nice. Thanks for posting and this. But that's my artistic choice to edit when I feel like editing because I don't edit anymore. I just send them out.
Yeah.
I recommend this to every photographer. Don't be so critical with your shit, especially when you're mass shooting. Get them all their content now so that they're off your back. The more pictures that they have is going to benefit you because other ones are going to post it and it doesn't do you any good if it's in your hard drive.
Yep.
And then when you go to edit, just make sure that you edit on your own and you do your best when you edit. But if they're going to wait on you, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, bro. Just give them all the pictures and let them do your thing. I haven't met a girl in the last 5 years that doesn't know how to edit her own shit.
Yeah.
No, dude, the artificial intelligence, like people, I don't think understand now. A lot of people are starting to understand. Like FaceApp is, I believe, it was a Russian company that actually built it, and it used artificial intelligence to make your face more symmetrical and make you look younger, and it works every time. Like it's so crazy how I can edit girls' photos. I showed it to Kindly Myers. I was the first one to show it to her, and she was stunned. I was like, I made her smile when she wasn't smiling, and then like, dude, I'm a guy. Like I have a degree. I studied astronomy in college. I can snatch a girl's waist in like 10 seconds.
Bro, I got Facetune. I just found out what Facetune was the other day. I'm like,
That's what I have.
amazing.
Dude, I'll do smooth 2, snatch the girl's waist, like change the parameters of her body. Then I'll go into same photo, go into FaceApp. I'll do stunning level 3 to make her smile, go back to the regular smile. The whole thing takes 45 seconds. I send it back to her and she's like, Jesus Christ.
And most people don't even notice that you could edit on Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram has the editing features from tones to
I'll change
saturation.
the black
to
level, saturation, all that kind of stuff. And it's so crazy how easy it's gotten in order to do that. So you're right about that. But I think the main point I was trying to make is this concept of like they have to feel safe. Like I'm just gonna say this to guys over and over again. The charity event has to be for the charity.
Yeah.
The photo shoot, like literally you will do anything to make sure the girls get their content. That is how you do these things in perpetuity.
That's how they keep coming.
That's how they keep coming. You will do these things in perpetuity.
One girl gets mad, all of them will be
That's exactly right. It's the photo shoot where you're lax, Everyone's pouring each other drinks. At my shoots, we have a rule: men cannot pour women's drinks ever. If not at a photo shoot, any kind of party, only women can pour women's drinks.
The only conflicts I have is that I'm a dick, I'm an asshole, I'm maybe foul mouth, and I say some pretty aggressive shit. But I've never been like, you don't get your money, you've never been ripped off, you get your photos, you've never been in an unsafe situation. I might not like you and say I can't fucking stand your face, but that's just me. But with you personally, but it's not like I'm putting my business on the line or having my. I am not customer service.
Yeah.
I am not the concierge at the front desk.
Yeah.
Your hot water works. I'm not a fucking plumber. I'm the Black Tape Project, and when I don't see you for a year, and the first thing you say to me is like, "Oh, my hot water doesn't work," I'm like, "Hi, how are you? Would you like to have a drink with me before you start complaining about all the things that you just arrived in Jamaica for? Like, are you kidding me, bro?" So it's like I'm not gonna be treated like a tour guide. And I was like, "Oh, he's so arrogant." I'm like, "No, it's just I know my place, bro. I've earned this shit. Like, I don't need you to treat me like I'm supposed to fix your shit."
Yeah. One other thing, if a photographer did something inappropriate, we'd get rid of him immediately. And that is something I took from you.
I've called other guys, and I show up with like 6 of us. I'm like, "Let's go for a walk," and we go really far, so nobody can hear your screams. Yeah. And then we tell you what's gonna happen, and then you decide then and there if you're gonna go or not, or if not, we're gonna remove you. Yeah. And I'm talking about we will carry you out. Like,
yeah. So that's the thing. Like you guys who are listening to this, there is no way to do these social events without taking the girls' safety into thought first and foremost.
My orientations express completely that I am 100% on the model's side, no matter what the guy did.
I mean, if you ask, like, how has he done this for 12 years if that wasn't the case? Like, that's the reason why so many of these other shoots don't work so well, is because it's usually one sponsor who gets a villa in Tulum, and oh, by the way, he gets to fuck all the girls, and that's what he tells, like, stuff like that that's really creepy.
Dude, in Jamaica, I have to have a second room because the girls will throw themselves on me thinking that I can make them the winner. And I tell the girls and the judges, I'm like, if I see you guys fucking, you're disqualified, both of you guys. So I already have a girl in my room. There's girls in the patio in the bathtub, and they're knocking on the back door, and there's no screen. Then I got the front door knocking. I got to call Hito and say, "Can I get another room? My room's been compromised." So I got to go, and I'm in a new room, so I got to go from room to room.
He's hit himself before. There's been a situation where, like, where's Joel? It's like, oh, I don't know where. I knew where he was. Girls, we meet in a secret location to get him away from everyone.
I told girls, I'm like, just come. I'll pay for everything. I just need you to hold my hand in public so all the girls think you're my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just so that they could leave me alone.
Bitches are crazy. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, no. But I'll get some girls.
That ain't gonna stop.
I get girls with like mad tattoos that just look aggressive. That'll rip your face off. Like this is like real dangerous looking business. You just stand there,
like
and just
towering over you, like could step on you. Yeah.
So it's like these are strategies. It's like, don't get me wrong, they're good problems to have, but after a while, it's just fucking annoying because I can't live my life. I can't enjoy myself. I can't go out and be seen. I gotta go and sit and deal with all this bullshit.
Crazy.
And I mean, like girls get aggressive, bro.
Oh my God.
And the worst thing is like they don't care if they lose, but if I cut them off. Oh my God.
World War III.
Oh my God.
I
didn't do anything to you except say we are done.
Isn't it insane?
That's it, bro. We go to like
Isn't
straight
it insane?
nuclear war.
I'm telling you, man. For me, it's just unfollow. That's it. That's all. You're gonna see plenty of me. Trust me. I don't need to see you anymore.
If I unfollow, it's like on the news. The New York Post is doing an article on this shit. It's fucking insane.
That's true. You're
getting your luggage pissed on.
That is so true. All right, Livia, where can we find you in the future?
Where can you find me?
Find you on Instagram. Tell me where we can find you, Olivia.
Yeah, on Instagram, for sure. My Instagram is Knapek Olivia. So follow me.
Do you have anything planned in the future besides going with us to Mexico?
Yes, I have some plans. I have some plans for the end of the till the end to the year, and I'm gonna show everything on my Instagram. So
she'll be at New York Fashion Week in September.
Okay.
And then we're working on a visa for the States.
Okay.
And then once that's all kind of like cleared up, then we'll start traveling again. But there's she'll definitely be in Puerto Vallarta.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you know what? If you win top 10 at the bikini competition, you can put that on the resume.
Yeah. If you win top 10 at what you did here in Vegas, that could actually help your visa.
Yeah.
But if I
if you win top 10.
And you're in the finals already.
If I won top 10,
Yeah, because for what's it, M1 modeling visa, is that it? So I mean, this is the hardest bikini competition in the world. My bikini competition is the hardest one. There's 200 girls.
So
you're in the finals,
it's
but you hit top
60,000.
10. You hit top 10. You now could get M1 modeling visa.
Yeah, it would help. It would definitely be something. Just like if you were on the cover of Maxim, that would help. That's how Emily Sears.
Because I help models with their visas and I do their sponsorships because the Black Tape's such a strong brand. I could say I need your specific look or your body type, so I'm able to help with the
I
visas.
think I was like one of the only one blonde there. No.
Maybe, I don't know. I have to go back and look. Yeah. Where can we find you, Kylie McGahey?
I mean, here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe in your closet.
In my closet?
Maybe under your bed.
My bed. Okay. All right.
I think she said under it, but fine, whatever.
There we go. Okay,
There's my
nice.
Instagram up there.
Okay, beautiful. Joel, what do you have planned for in the future?
Oh man, I got a lot. I think we got Puerto Vallarta coming up. I got New York Fashion Week on the 10th. We're doing a casting on the 7th.
LA or Vegas Fashion Week? I just heard about some kind of announcement that. You heard?
So here's the thing. Anybody could just go and claim some Miami
what I
Swim
thought
Week and
so,
stuff
too.
like that. So Art Basel started off as the Red Dot Gallery. And then the whole city started participating. So everyone does Art Basel. But technically, there's just supposed to be one Art Basel. Now, Miami Swim Week grew off of Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. They stopped. And then Swim Week kind of like blew up. So now I'm trying to be the owner of Winter Miami Swim Week, because it's so brutally hot in July. But if we did a Miami Swim Week in December, it's so much easier. I own an island in the Maldives now. I don't know if I told you this.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm building a program in the Maldives with a hotel that I work with, and I own Maldives Fashion Week and Maldives Swim Week. I own the websites and the domains on Instagram. And I'm now developing the Tulum Fashion Week and Tulum Swim Week. So I could basically go to Cambodia and be like, okay, Cambodian Swim Week, and no one could touch me.
Right.
But in Vegas, that is a possibility. So let's just say that organizer is doing Vegas Swim Week or Vegas Fashion Week was to do something, and I came in as a competitor, I'd destroy them because of my reputation, my network, and the amount of people that I have. So it doesn't really matter who owns the name. It's just who does it better at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. Agreed. All right. And that's what you have planned in the future. Anything else?
New York Fashion Week is on the 10th of September. I have the casting on September 7th in Manhattan.
Okay.
Then I go to the Puerto Vallarta Paradise Challenge on the 17th to the 23rd, which is open to the general public, models, industry professionals, hair and makeup, models, photographers, anybody who just wants to come and party or meet or network. And then I have the World Body Painting Festival in September 25th to the 31st. Then we do Brussels Tattoo Convention in November. Then we got Art Basel. I'm planning a 2-month tour in Australia for December and January.
There you go.
So yeah, I try to stay busy as possible. I got a clothing line coming. I got a swimwear line coming. I got a lingerie line coming. I got a body chain line coming.
There we go.
So
There we go.
yeah, I was making so many posts that people were leaving comments like, bro, do you even sleep? I'm like, not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah. So
All right.
we're hitting it hard.
Well, I really appreciate that, because the concepts you talk about, I talk very frequently about in my program. And so I do appreciate you coming on, man. You guys want to check him out, make sure you go to The King of Tape. That's one of your Instagrams. The other one is The Black Tape Project.
Just Black Tape Project.
Just Black
No
Tape Project. And then the other one is Paradise Challenge.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go check out those 3 things so you can see he's built all 3 of those brands and how well that they've done. Man, really appreciate that. We're going to see you. Are you going to be able to make it tomorrow, or you're not going to be able to make it tomorrow?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's cool. We're going to get you on Access Vegas one of these times.
That'd be cool, yeah.
And then maybe get you a judge at the bikini competition.
All
at
right,
some
yeah.
point.
I could probably come to the one that she's going to be in.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that might be a conflict of interest, so let's strike that from the record. And we will see all of you guys next week.